What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, January 21st to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We're running hot. Gogster sweeps the board 6-0 yesterday. Dutchy 2-0 yesterday. The day before, Derl goes 5-1. Ooh, god damn. 8-1. I'm 8-1 in NBA over the last two shows. I did not have a superlative day like our Mr. Gogster. I of all the capping he did yesterday, I really, really liked his play on the Ottawa Senators first period over a half goal. There was a lot of us who thought that Pittsburgh could be sloppy, lazy. Obviously, the over, looking back at it, was a move that we should have made. But we were sort of right. Birdie and I were sort of right and lost. But Gogster managed to get that cash. And it's not just us running hot. Ron Crawford cashes yesterday. Dan Kelly cashes both of his looks yesterday. Taint Rice minus 2.5 cashed yesterday. We're all rolling. Dutch's ROI is now plus 22.93% on the show. Mr. Gogster's ROI is plus 11.45% on the show. He's 27-20, hitting at 57.4%. Plus 5.38 units, coming off a 6-0 day, and it feels good. Now, I put myself in an enormous hole in NBA, so much so that there was even some discussion around the apartment whether I should just shut the shit down. So it's nice to be building back or gaining confidence again. But look, I'm still rough in NBA. I go 8-1. I'm still down 10.45 units on the year. So we're moving in the right direction, and we're moving quickly, and we have to keep doing it. In NHL, I only made 0.1 units yesterday. But it's not about me. The show is not about me. The show is about us, and we are succeeding. Maxwell Smart, 75-69, hitting at 52.1%, plus 3.61 units. We're going to be going into NCAA right after NHL. So get your NCAA games that you want broken down. The key is we're fucking winning right now. That's the key. We're improving our lives. Doesn't matter how shitty it is outside. Right in here, baby. It feels good. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Let's get to work. Dan Kelly in the house. Great work, Dan Kelly. The community of new knowledge. His cash me out pick is 4-1 for the year. New Orleans plus 4 was last night. That was a great job. And I was, we always try. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get better. We're trying to get better. A never-ending battle for us to be better cappers. And look, the last 2 days, I said, look, they're begging you to bet the Lakers. I said that tonight. So begging you. But did I have the wherewithal or the skill set to move on the Pacers? No, I stayed off the Lakers yesterday, and it may have not been the opening line for the Knicks at minus 2.5 was a blatant, to me, move by the book saying we want all the Knicks money. Now, Dennis was right. It did move to 4. So it wasn't like that Lakers spot, but I felt that this was a ploy by the books to get richer off of Knicks public cash, and I didn't have the skill set to take the Pelicans. So, and then if you watched a TJ during the baseball season, when I would get talked or when the market would tell, in my estimation, the market would say, look, this baseball bet that I was thinking of making, and I talked that with you guys, the market's saying, don't do it. I did not have the skill set to go jump on the other side of it. And, TJ started tracking that, and I would have hit over 60% had I have done that. And so I've got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, but we're winning right now, and it feels really, really good. There's a Schnizzle in the house. He's white hot as well, rolling right now. Actually, Schnizzle, can you put your action in the chat so everyone can see it? And I know that you beat a lot of market moves, but also so I can have it set up before each game. There's Sammy Culmer. He moved on the Islanders minus 1.5, only play I've made so far. I look closely at that play. I can't do it. They're until their offense really picks up. I believe in this hockey team, but until the Beauvilliers, the Brock Nelsons, until they start getting secondary scoring. I mean, Wallstrom's their second leading scorer at 16 points. And if I'm looking at a minus 270 favorite against the Coyotes team that's playing well, I couldn't pull the trigger. But I get it, Sammy, and I don't think it's a wrong move. And we talked about some of the spots that Gogster was on yesterday. Now, I didn't know that Jason Robertson was going to be in lineup. We talked about whether Jason Robertson was going to be in lineup. He's a game changer for the Stars team. But Radulov is on the ice. This team needs whom I remember Radulov being, who he hasn't been this season. The Stars are not a good hockey team right now, and but I did move on the Lightning and the Avs last night. I put out an official pick on them both to win the Cup, but I also took them to win the conference, both of them to win the conference as well. I think that Lightning to win the conference at plus 375 and to win the Cup at plus 750 is nice stuff. Now, what I've got to decide today is, do I want, and my futures don't look that good, but I have $100. I wish it was 200, but I have $100 on the Panthers to win the division at plus 425. Honestly, I don't think there's a better team than the Lightning in the East, and the Lightning to win the division are plus 150. I wonder if I should hedge. I'm starting to let go of this thought that the Leafs could go on a run. But remember, we're not even halfway through the season, and a 10-game winning streak from the Leafs is not out of the realm of possibilities. There's community of new knowledge in the house. Ryan Kozlowski, great to see you, Ryan. Northender, James S. There's TJ, my guy TJ in the house. Matty Ice with another easy winner, minus 2.5 on Rice yesterday, rolling. Zoe Faye in the house, great to see you. Paulie Walnuts ready to get to work. There's Slatsy coming off a 3-1 day in NHL. Panthers team total over 3.5 was a beauty call by you and by Mr. Gogster. Said Tail Dutch in the NBA and Taint for a 5-1 night. I love it. Marco Lu coming off a 2-2 day yesterday. Said Huskies were the right side, and the under in the Mavericks game was right. The under was definitely right. There's Ron Crawford. Spreadsheet play today. Casher with the Penguins minus 1.5 out of boy Ronnie. And the spreadsheet play today is in. It is the St. Louis Blues, whom I've already moved on. I almost took a minus 1.5 too. The old me would have done it. I didn't. I took them on the minus 1 line at minus 112. So I came so close to taking the puck line. I can understand why you're on the Blues right now. I also think though that one, you shouldn't bet the Sharks on the road. I think that the Sharks are a play here where we take them as home dogs. But I think the Kraken at home as dogs, and I know that they were slight favorites yesterday. I think that at home as dogs moving forward is going to be a nice spot for us. There's my guy Henry Dice in the house. Had been missing out of the Sabres first period. They keep doing well in the first period. They've got a lot of fighting them. Mark Schillingberg here. Jay Peasy. I now follow my guy Jay Peasy on Twitter. What's happening? Dennis Garcia in the house. You know what, Dennis? I love capping with you very, very much. And I think, we pride ourselves on being transparent and accountable. But you also kind of you keep us accountable and transparent with our comments and with what we say. I mean, it's one thing to show it with our records, which is very important. And, we're out of the Peter Loshak school of capping, but to also, recognize when you say things without, and Dan Kelly does that as well. And also I wanted to talk to Jose. I think it's time for Dan Kelly to have a graphic. Jose, I think it's time. For Dan Kelly to have a graphic. There's Dutchie in the house. Look at Dutchie's record on this show. God, is he fucking good. 25-15, hitting at 62.5%, plus 9.17 units. ROI plus 22.93%. Average line minus 105. Hell of a capper. All right. And North Ender cashed both teams to score in the Penn Sens first period at plus 140. That's a beauty. Michael Irvelina, thank you for the kind words. TJ, much love to you. Betting sports is number one. Everything else is secondary. I love it. I fucking love it. There's Dennis Trusty in the house. Miss him. All right. God, I love you guys. Okay. So, I was just going to hang up NBA. I was going to shut down NBA. I would never. This is you guys. Look, come on. I need you guys. I need this. I need this in my life so badly. Rodney, and there's just Derl getting ready to work. God, we combined to go 11-2 on that massive NBA card on Wednesday. I can't wait to see what we do today. All right, it's time to get to work. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Just want to make sure I got everybody's thoughts here before we get started. I want to keep an eye out for Schnizzle's action. There is Sammy in the house. And thank you, Schnizzle. Going to drop the stuff in the chat. There's my guy, Nate Dog 420. I will reach out to you, Nate Dog, my man. And Nutflush says, Caden was saying, Dad, why are you watching so much hockey right now? That's what I'd like to hear. Dennis Garcia says the Leafs are done. I think it's too early to say that, but I think that we blind bet overs with Muzzin out of the lineup. I think we do. Joseph Gomez says, yes, middle, no shame when you cash it. My dad middles, like he's a hedge machine. And in the past, I've hedged too much. And then, you see big balls gamblers not hedging. And I guess my dad's got tiny balls. And it doesn't matter to talk about his tiny balls because he's not in the show. Now, his dad had big old balls. He always had a beer and a shot. Always a beer and a shot. My grandfather. My dad doesn't call my grandfather by his name. He died when he was 57, but my dad always called him Red. That was his nickname, Red, because his face was red due to the beer and the shot. And my dad tried to stop that run of alcoholism in the family. My dad won't drink hard liquor ever. And he hoped that I wouldn't be a beer and a shot man. But if there was a beer and shot in front of me right now, I'd hammer them both back. And I apologize, Dad, but you didn't stop this train of gambling, alcoholism, and Carter's next up. Let's get to work. NHL ahead of us right now. Great work by everybody here in the chat on the show yesterday. But we got to keep it rolling. Let's bring on your next guest. The triumphant return yesterday, going 6-0, and now 57.4% on the show, plus 11.45 ROI, and he's rolling. Please welcome Belleville's finest, Mr. Gogster in the house. Gogster,
hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing?
Great job yesterday, Gogster. Loved every second of it.
Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it. Great to be back, guys. Let's get it back to the cash here. We can't gloat too much about it, even though we did kick some ass. I like this card. It's kind of jumping out to me. Let's get after there, guys. Let's make some more money here.
Let's make some more money. Exactly. Let's make some more money. Great job yesterday. Stars in regulation, Bruins in regulation, Winnipeg, Nashville over 5.5. So you got big. That you knew you were going to have a good night when you got that Robertson goal with 3.5 minutes left. You get the.
I thought I was screwed. With Boston and Dallas, I saw they're down by 1 each. I'm like, another way she goes. And then I'm at work and I check it. I'm like, not in regulation too. Well, shit.
Oh yeah. Winnipeg, Nashville over 5.5. That Nashville look was very, very easy. That was the best thing I did yesterday. But your over was beautiful. Sharks first period was a casher in a game. They didn't win the whole game. I love that shit. I love when I cash the first period in a game where the team doesn't win the full game. Panthers team total over 3.5 was a casher. And I thought Senators first period over a half goal was your best work. I thought it was your best work. All right. Stu Chaos goes 2-0. Great job. And good in the house. Love you. Good. Respect. And Dennis Garcia says middles are fun. In NFL, I attempted 2 middles on totals last week. I had a 1-point middle in Philadelphia, Tampa, and cashed it. Had a 7-point middle in LA Rams, Arizona, and didn't cash it. I do not. It's hedging is more of like the mistakes I made, and I have not succeeded with middles very often. But I'm ready to get to work. These are the totals that Schnizzle's on. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to copy and paste those and have them ready to go when it's Derl joins us. Remember, college basketball is second, though, so Jose will be getting your games in right now. And I tell you what, there's so much shit going on outside. There's so much bullshit, but God, it feels good to be alive. It feels good to be capping with you guys right now. If I could just bottle up this energy I feel right now, capping with you guys, I'd be a happy.
This is life. I just can't thank you and Pete Loshak for starting this, Jimmy. It's keeping it going.
Well, I thank you guys. Let's get right to work, Mr. Gogster. We're going to start at 7 p.m. Eastern. I've only made 2 bets on the NHL card. By the way, did you bet anything on the overnights? Have you tweeted anything out?
Yeah, I tweeted it out there. I had 3 plays I gave out. And the first one was I got New York Island. Should I give it out now?
No. I just want to make sure. Let's go. We'll do it game by game, but I should pop it up here. And you did that late in the morning. Perfect. Okay.
3 in the morning.
All right. So let me just keep this ready to go. Make sure I do. Okay, but we haven't moved on this game. New York Rangers 26-10-4, 15-7-2 on the road at the Carolina Hurricanes, 26-8-2, 12-4-1 at home. We're at PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're going to go over the goaltenders. There could be changes within the goaltenders, so let us know. Igor Shesterkin, 18-4-2, 2.03 goals against average, 938 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Going up against Freddie Anderson, 26-0. 26-0, 1.99 goals against average, 930 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Rangers power play 22.8%, penalty killing 85.2%. Carolina power play at 25.5%, and penalty killing at 90.1%. I just got this flash of San Antonio in my head. By the way, everything's locked. San Antonio is on huge March 21st to March 31st, and that weekend, that 25th, 26th, 27th, is going to go off. So just keep that in mind. We're going to be promoting it heavy. We want as many people out there. We're working on deals right now with hotels, and we're working on ways to get. But right now, if anyone listening in Canada, you can get a $400 return flight to San Antonio and back.
Absolutely.
Thanks to sweet COVID. Carolina power play 25.5%, penalty killing at 90.1%. Let's take a look at what we are dealing with from a market perspective here. And these lines have not been updating, so I'm gonna have to double check to make sure that where they stand right now. But Carolina opened up at minus 157. They're now minus 172, as it says here, and I'll double check to make sure that's all real. But 15-cent move. This total opened up at 5.5. Pinnacle is about to move it to 6, but it's plus 108 to the over, so that will take a little bit of time. Rangers coming up their third straight win, 6-3 at home over the Leafs. Excuse me. Why do I have 6-3? It was not a 5-3.
No, it was 6-3. Yeah.
Over the Leafs on Wednesday night. This is a very healthy group, as healthy as they've been all year. The Hurricanes coming off their second straight win, a dominant 7-1 victory at Boston on Tuesday. Martin Necas and Jordan Martinook are out with COVID, and they're depth forwards that are accountable defensively. Take it away here, Gogster. Rangers, Hurricanes.
All right, so Rangers are the best road team in the NHL from what I looked up there, guys. So the Rangers, for them to be this big of a dog is, I know the Carolina is good, but Rangers are kind of a juicy, appealing dog. I'd be leaning Rangers or nothing. I saw some guys in the chat already say Rangers. I would be looking that way. These are two of the top goalies in the league, though. On the road, Shesterkin's 10-3-1 with a .934 save percentage, 2.14 goals against. Anderson's 8-3 at home with a .932, 2.06. So these are honestly probably the top 2 goalies in the East going at it. A late ad here. I think I'm gonna add on no goal here, Jimmy, in the first 9 minutes 30 seconds. I think I like this one, guys. You can get that at Bovada plus 115 right now. The Rangers coming off that 6-3 game. More times than not, guys, I've seen it's going to be not a letdown spot or anything, but you're not coming out scoring 5-6 goals again, especially when you have Anderson in net and you have a defense core like Carolina Hurricanes. And the same can be said with the Rangers. They got a strong core. Rangers are coming off of a 7-1 win against Boston. So look for this one. I think an under would be the play, even full game. I'd be leaning towards the full game under, but these offenses are top notch. But to be honest, I think the defending and the goaltending is going to overmatch it. No goal first 9 minutes 30 seconds is plus 115. I always like getting the nice plus money there too, guys. Both teams are pretty much healthy other than Necas and Martinook. One thing though, if Anderson goes down, they have this guy LaFontaine they called up because Rant is out. So if Anderson goes down, guys, I'd be hammering the Rangers. That's a big if. But yeah, I think a tighter checking game here, Jimmy. No goal early in this one.
Yeah, tighter checking game. I think that's a very interesting look at this. It's too bad that Necas and Martinook are out. Dennis Garcia says, give me the New York Rangers. I get it. They both are coming off big wins. Yeah. I think.
And this is like a play. Both these teams are going, I think, for first place in the, what do I have here? 56 points for the Rangers, 54 for Carolina. So they're both neck and neck right up there in the Metro. So this is going to be I think it's going to be a tighter game here.
Yeah. I would lean to an under as well. You think that Shesty will bounce back here? Frederik Anderson's been so good. He's been so good at home. You have 2 strong penalty killing units. Rangers at 85.2%, Carolina at 90.1%.
Yeah, well, I don't think one team's going to show another team up here. You know what I mean? Like a 1-goal game kind of game, like 3-2, 2-1. I don't see it like 4-3, 4-2. I don't see it getting up there with these two goalies, and kind of like an early maybe playoff game, you could say.
Yeah, no, I think that's well put, and it wouldn't be surprised to see these guys battle in the playoffs. Nate Dogg says possible draw in Carolina game 3-3.
Hey, not bad there, mate.
I guess you're right. I
don't like the 3-3, but
I'm gonna pull up a Pinnacle right here. I just want to see exactly, because I've got it here listed at a 6 at plus 108, but I want to see what they're hanging the 5.5 at, and then we'll move on from here. But what do you think about a full game under here? It brought up here by Good, but the market is clearly moving towards the over. Here we go. Total 6. That's total 5.5 at minus 128 to the over. So there's been a big move towards that over. Is that a recency bias because these teams combined for 13 goals last game?
Exactly. And the way they've been looking, Carolina 4-1 against Vancouver. They lost 6-0 against the Blue Jackets, but then 4-3, 6 goals. Both these teams, the Rangers can score too. Opponents. Sorry, one thing I was just looking up here was what was I looking up here? It was just about Carolina here. They're going to have a back-to-back. So both these teams, Sammy Culvert, he just brought this up. So Carolina plays the Devils tomorrow, and the Rangers here are going to be playing the Coyotes. So two weaker teams, two teams they can kind of, this is going to be the game. Like, this is definitely a tougher test for both of those two teams. So I think it's going to be I don't see this being a crazy game. I could be wrong, but I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. And to get it at 6 too, I'd jump on that, guys.
And Birdie says, yes, scoring through the roof since COVID break. You were right. Recency bias for sure. And the under 5.5 is at plus 105 available for me right now.
Goalies for me, Jim. Shesterkin and Anderson. Like, these are the best goalies in pretty almost the league, to be honest.
Yeah, and the alternate. Let me just see what the. Oh no, only give me 6. Okay, I think you guys might have nailed it. I really do. I think because a great call here by. Where is it about what Shesty did? TJ saying Igor, after allowing 3 in the first, shut down Toronto and played on his head. I could see that following through.
I'm gonna get a Shesty jersey for in a couple months here. Like, I'm a huge fan of that guy, Jim.
He's a hell of a goalie.
He's a hell of a goalie, guys. Look out for this guy.
Okay, I'm quite interested in the under 5.5. I only have 2 bets so far on this card. I'm going to see how much action I have and decide whether I roll with it, because we would be going against the market move here, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I really do. So I'm expecting to move on that under 5.5 now, and would still have interest at 6 to see what that is juiced here. Let's roll on. Next up, we have 7 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Penguins 24-10-5, 13-5-3 on the road at Columbus Blue Jackets 18-18-1, 11-6-1 at home, Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. I understand Dennis's move on the Pens at 25-1 to win the Stanley Cup, and you got a great number. It was 16-1 when I checked a couple days ago. Probably has gone down with Malkin back and Malkin playing so well. The question is,
you're right, Jim. You called it.
Can Malkin do this? 3-4 months on that knee. They did have a lot of patience with him coming back. I do not believe. I don't really think this. I mean, if Crosby and Malkin couldn't do it over the last 3 or 4 years, I don't see these players surrounding them that much better than they've been, or even better. I find it tough to believe that they could step up, but they're heart and soul guys. And now in this spot, we have Casey DeSmith going up against Eunice Korpisalo, which screams over. But the market knows that. And these guys have been playing higher scoring hockey anyway. So it's a 6.5 at minus 120 to the over. And I don't want that. Casey DeSmith, 3-3-1, 3.47 goals against average, 0.88 save percentage, 1 shutout. Eunice Korpisalo, 4-7-0, 3.95 goals against average, 882 save percentage. Pittsburgh power play at 18.4%, penalty killing at 89.8%, and being very good. Dennis saying Malkin should not play back-to-backs. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So you're right. Malkin won't play tonight. That's such a good call, Dennis. Thank you for saying that.
Good call. Yeah, good call.
So if Malkin's out of the lineup, you'd have to think that the offense drops. But I mean, you still can't trust either of these goalies.
Columbus, this is not a game I like.
Columbus, it's a tough one. Columbus power play at 15.6%. Both teams on the second half of back-to-backs. Pens won last night 6-4 at home over the Senators. Scored 11 goals in their past 2 games. And Malkin back in the fold. Jason Zucker back on injured reserve. It's too bad. He's an offense. He's a good player, a good offense player, and he's one of those guys that Malkin and Crosby just make better, And so he was being out since December 19th with a lower body injury, and I guess that happened. He hurt it again. Columbus comes in off their second win in 3 games, 2-1 at Philadelphia last night. I do not know what to do with this Columbus team, and it bothers me because I used to know what to do with the Blue Jackets. I used to have a really good feel with them, and I don't anymore. Center Cole Sillinger, defenseman Vladislav Gavrikov, and Adam Bokvist all have COVID and are out. And let me just give you a line here. This total has moved to 6.5. It was a juice 6, so they looked at the goalies and moved on the over. And just let me give you a money line spot here. Columbus opening up at plus 160. They're now at plus 197. Can you believe that you're getting a plus 200 with the Jackets at home? It's got to be Jackets or no bet, but no faith in Korpisalo. Take it away, Gogster.
You know what I might do here? I might do the same thing I did with Ottawa against Pittsburgh. I might just throw Columbus first period, score a goal. I think that might just be a late ad here. Korpisalo, he's tough to trust. I wouldn't trust Korpisalo right now. If anything, I should have been on Columbus last night with the addition of Voracek and Atkinson's old team. They look good against Philly, even though Philly's been awful, like 10 losses in a row. But Columbus here, they definitely, knowing they had a back-to-back. Pittsburgh was a much tougher of the 2 games for them, so I think they're gonna put their best foot forward. Hey, they beat these Carolina teams 6-0, Jim, about a week ago. So Columbus, like if I know it could have just been a bad game for Carolina, but still, just to show that performance against Carolina on the road too. I think Columbus here, maybe a first period. I'm just kind of pulling it up right now.
Dennis Garcia is on Columbus first period. By the way, Cashman saying is Malkin listed as out. See him listed on lines today. Look, Dennis nailed this. Mm-hmm. The Pens would be nuts right now to play Malkin in back-to-backs, and the odds, everything has. The market is set with Malkin in the lineup. Now, look, they could do it, but they'd be fucking nuts to play Malkin in back-to-backs. I think that Dennis is thinking way ahead of
you keep the longevity of Malkin going longer if you're going to break him down too quick. So exactly.
So Dennis is on the Columbus Blue Jackets first period. It's an interesting look, and at this number, I get it. What do you want to do here? You want to take that first period?
I'm not going to add it. I'm not going to add it here. It's minus 147. I'm just going to stay off it here. I got enough action.
Okay, there's Turnsey in the house. Great to see you, Turnsey. Hope the little man is doing better. Know that he's dealing with COVID. Matty Ice dealing with COVID. Thinking about you guys. Penguins, Jackets. Top Shelf Play says Hurricanes was rusty. Well, certainly didn't look rusty in that 7-1 victory. And Damon Santori says his little man turns 1 today. Crazy this year is flowing by. I hope your little man feeling better. Much love to you, Damon. Much love to you, man. Damon met up with Paco Healy and DJ Big Boss for a San Diego State game this year, and hope you can come to San Antonio and party with us. Okay, I get it. I can understand the first period, and at this line,
that's where I'd be looking towards. Like both these goalies, like DeSmith's 1-1-1 on the season on the road too. Both goalies got a subpar save percentage below 900. Goals against. It's small sample size too, but. Watching the Korpisalo, this he's bad. It's a game I want nothing to do with. The line set high enough where I'm not going to touch the total. I think it's a stay off.
Let's take a look at what Birdie did here in NHL. He put it an hour ago. So he's on the Islanders minus 1.5, Dallas in regulation, Blue Jackets money line plus 195, and he's on the New York Carolina under.
Yeah, wow. There you go. I like that, Bird.
And Blues money line, New York Islanders money line plus 122. Okay, I will keep an eye on that, Birdie. Okay, so I get why there's some hesitation here. Let's and TJ says, is the first really better than the full game? Coming off back-to-back, I'd rather have the full game versus the energy of the road team than first period. Yeah, I think the issue here is just that the Penguins are a better hockey team, even without Malkin.
And it's Korpisalo, too.
Yeah, so I guess the idea is just to cut it down as short as possible. But I can hear what you're saying, TJ. Tank play of the day is in. Fresh off a big catcher yesterday. We will talk about that when we get to college basketball with Maximilian. But let's roll on now. Let me just copy and paste this. And there we go. Okay. I get it. and I get the trepidation. Let's move on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Dallas Stars 19-16-2, 5-12-1 on the road at Detroit Red Wings 18-17-5, 13-6-2 at home. Little Caesars, Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Ottinger versus Nedeljkovic. I don't trust Ottinger. I don't trust Holtby, and the Dallas Stars will not make the playoffs unless they do something about their goaltending.
And I know you don't trust Ned.
No, well, Nedeljkovic, I can't trust him. We talked all about that, but he's been okay this year. 12-10-4, 2.69 goals against average, 918 save percentage. Dallas power play at 27.3%. I've fallen in love with Jason Robertson. He's just electric. 77% penalty killing. Detroit power play 15%, 79.1% penalty killing. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. We have there we go. We have Dallas opening up at -115. There's been a 5-cent move towards the Detroit Red Wings, and I get that move. I'm a little surprised. I'd love to hear the idea that Wyberty likes Dallas here. There has been a 6-cent move to the under 5.5, and it's starting to update here, so we're good with the market moves. Stars on the second half of back-to-back after snapping their 3-game losing streak, 5-4 at Buffalo last night. Robertson, 2 goals, 1 assist, got the winner with 3 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game. They outshot the Sabres 47-24. But the Red Wings are a well-rested group. Last seen in a 3-2 win at Buffalo on Monday. Dylan Larkin and Tyler Bertuzzi are heating up. And how good is Moritz Seider? 2019 6th overall pick, 6'4". What a beast. What a beast. Yzerman gets it right. The guy's so smart. Take it away here, Gogster. Stars Wings.
Yeah, this game here, I was leaning towards an over. Ottinger, he's been playing so many games at home, guys. He's only played 2 games on the road. He's lost both of them. Hasn't looked that good. Detroit's well rested. Health-wise, Verana's out, Rowney's out, Barber. Young up-and-comer from Grand Rapids. He's also out, and Grice has got COVID. For the most part, they got their top core players in, minus Verana, in my opinion. It's not a game I have any action on here, guys. 38 points for Dallas, 41 for Detroit. Surprisingly, Detroit's got actually more points than Dallas. Dallas, though, inconsistent. They had that nice comeback win against Buffalo. Robertson, huge addition for the team. Detroit here, they beat up on weak teams here, Jim. Beat Buffalo twice. Lost to San Jose, lost to Winnipeg, and then lost to Anaheim, actually. So they got to get the ball rolling. I think there could be some goals here, though. It's not a game I have any action on here, guys. But, I'm going to stay off this one, Jimmy. I think we're going to see some goals. I don't expect Dallas to slow down too much, but, Seider, they do have a better decor and better goalie than Aaron Bell going up against Ned in net tonight. So it's a game I got no action on.
I like the Red Wings here. But I'm gonna have to think about it a little longer. Top Shelf Play says Hurricanes versus Rangers. I like the over. Both teams' sticks are hot. That's exactly why we're getting the beautiful line on the under, in my estimation. So that's the thought process. By the way, I'd like to give a big shout out to Dan Bonner. That Colin Atkinson's shots on goal yesterday was beautiful. He's loving the Blues in regulation. Dan, really loving your input. And Jeff Slaughter in the house says dog pound today and hop on Maryland. So we will ask Maxwell Smart about that spot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pick 'em here, a slight market move towards the home dog, and it makes sense to me.
I don't know. I don't know. This offense is going to be. They beat Buffalo twice, Jim, and then they didn't score a goal against Winnipeg. And I remember Winnipeg. I think you were on Detroit against Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg was depleted, and then Detroit didn't even get a goal against them.
You're right. Yeah.
And then 3-2 against San Jose, 4-3. I don't know. Robertson's back too. I can see Dallas winning this one, to be honest. But I don't want to talk you off anything. That's just what I think. I think Dallas.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk it out too. I didn't move on it before the show started. Remember, Robertson was a lower body injury, so now we have the second half of a back-to-back. It's not a real comfortable situation to be in. By the way, Top Shelf Picks loving the Top Shelf Plays. Loving the Slaughter look on Maryland. Okay, so
Slaughter, good to see you, buddy.
I'm gonna not. I don't trust Ottinger at all. So
I think there'll be goal. I think that's why I think there'll be some goals here. I don't see Dallas slowing down too much, but and Dallas hasn't been able to. Montreal put up 5 against them. Was with Holtby, but
I think you were right. You're getting a 5.5 at +110.
Yeah,
65 right now.
I know. I thought it'd be -120. I write down the lines and what I project them to be. I thought this would be -120, and it was +108. So Value-wise, I'd be on the over.
Detroit hasn't been scoring, but you play against the Dallas Stars and you're going to be scoring. Res Mobbenhouse, great to see you. I like that look on the over. I mean, who cares if the Red Wings are playing low-scoring hockey, in my estimation here, because the Stars there's going to be odd man rushes nonstop, and they're a tired group that you want to be all over. And I'm going to spend some more time on that, but I love the plus line beside the over. I think that makes sense. Dallas just plays over hockey. So it's not the Dallas of 2 years ago.
Especially on the road, too. I know they've been at home a lot in the last few games, but they've been an over team on the road, too. They're pretty much healthy. They're still missing Radulov and Kiro, but it's Robertson back. Sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Dan says, I so want to take Detroit. I get it. I know. A rested Detroit squad? I wish Birdie was sticking around here to give us his insights on why. And Top Shelf says Red Wings money line easy. So I'm going to think about.
I don't want to talk you off it. That's just my gut feel. I lean towards Dallas, but I like the over more. I'd put my money on the over more than the side.
Well, we'll see if Gogster makes that official too. Let's not hum and haw and keep rolling. Again, we have college basketball coming up in 23 minutes with Maxwell Smart. Get your college basketball in. Let's roll. 7:30 p.m. Bonko Key says odds are being bad. I like the over, but Stars are 1-5 on the over in a back-to-back.
Great stat right there.
Yeah, great stat. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Coyotes 10-24-4, 5-11-3 on the road. New York Islanders 13-13-6, 6-6-3 at home. Look, I'm waiting for the Islanders to show us a sign that they're going to heat up. Maybe they have. UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. Karel Vejmelka 6-14-1, 3.10 goals against average, 9-10 save percentage. I like the kid. Ilya Sorokin, another good young goaltender, 10-7-5, 2.37 goals against average, 9.27 save percentage, 3 shutouts. If you're looking for young goaltenders, you got to go to Europe. We're seeing the Russian and European goaltenders kind of take over the league. Arizona's power play at 12.6%, penalty killing at 73.1%. New York Islanders power play at 17.7%, 82.2%. And I bet you 5 years from now that Canadian hockey will be at its lowest because of COVID and because of our shutting down everything. And while Europe has not done that, those countries that haven't done that, I bet you will be the top teams in the international hockey scene in 5 years. And not getting to watch McDavid and Crosby this year in representing Canada, this was our chance. This was our perfect chance when they were at the perfect age. Okay, Arizona playing their best hockey of the year.
Used to be a big thing too, you know.
It sucks. So this total opened up just like not quite as drastic, but just like that Detroit Dallas under. The under is getting moved 3 cents. The over 5.5 at Pinnacle is at plus 117, and I find this a much tougher. Even comparing this to that Detroit Dallas over, I'm going to move on the Detroit Dallas over now. I mean, that's such a different game to me than this one. And then from a money line perspective here, let's just move here. From a money line perspective, we have the Islanders opening up at minus 264. They're now minus 265. They were 270 at bet 365, and I was like, I don't want them. They've shown me no reason, especially this Arizona team playing the best hockey of the year. It's coming off second straight win, 4-1 at New Jersey. They've outscored the Devils and the Habs 9-3 over their last 2 games. Zingle and Antoine Roussel are out with COVID, and that hurts them. Brett Hayton and Jay Beagle remain out with injuries. They've been out for a while. Islanders coming off sweeping a home and home Monday and Tuesday over Philadelphia, but it wasn't dominant. The 4-1 win at home looked pretty good. Now they're back home. They need more offense. Only Matthew Barzalo's over 16 points. Palmieri and Pullock remain out of the lineup. Take it away, Gogster, my man. Coyotes, Islanders.
This game here, missing centerman, Beagle, Dzingel, Hayton too, Roussel. There's too many injuries. I know Arizona's look great, guys. They've looked good, but this is a team in the Islanders. They're in the bottom of the Metro right now, pretty far back too. They only have 32 points. Sorry, but these 2 goalies, Vejmelka, Jim. Listen to this. He's 3-6-1. His save percentage is 947, and he's got a goals against of 1.85. Yet he's 3-6-1. So it just tells you he's a solid goalie and all. But for the most part, Arizona, their offense is stale. They've been humming. Yeah, they've been looking good, guys. They beat the Devils 4-1, beat Montreal 5-2, look good against Colorado. They were on a swing. You almost don't like trying to catch a falling knife, you'd say here, but I'm going to be on the Islanders puck line. I got it at minus 103. Missing Palmieri and Pollock still, but Sorokin and net. I trust this guy, especially at home. He's their goalie of the future, similar to the Rangers and Shesterkin. The Islanders have Sorokin. I have a hard time not taking the Islanders, especially at home. Arizona's look good. I see where you guys like the Coyotes, but I think this is going to be an Islanders spot. I don't see Arizona scoring more than 2 goals in this game.
I get it. I'm just it's just too big of a favorite for a team that hasn't warranted it. But I understand your look, and let's roll on. Next up, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Minnesota Wild 22-10-3, 10-7-2 on the road at Chicago Blackhawks 15-18 and 6-8-7-3 at home. If you're joining us late, Mr. Gogster coming off board sweepage yesterday, 6-0 plus 6.05 units, and we'll be rolling into college basketball in 20 minutes. And then it's Derl joining us for NBA, and Derl is with us for that 13-game Wednesday card, and we combined to go 11-2 on that card. United Tender, Chicago, Illinois, Capo Kakinen and Marc-Andre Fleury. Kakinen 7-2-2, 2.58 goals against average, 918 save percentage. Marc-Andre Fleury 13-11-3, 2.69 goals against average, 916 save percentage, 3 shutouts. I want to know what team he's going to be playing on in the playoffs badly, because there's a couple teams that need him, like the Dallas Stars. Maybe not the Avalanche, because Francouz looks like he might be the real deal. Minnesota power play at 17%, penalty killing 79.8%. Chicago power play 18.8%, penalty killing at 76.3%. Let's take a look at the market here. We have Chicago opening up as plus 125 dogs, 7-cent move towards them. Minnesota's gone from minus 141 to minus 131. When we go over to totals here, we have this total opening up at 5.5, and it's similar to the, I guess not quite similar because 6 and 6.5, but exactly. It's exactly similar to that Rangers Carolina total. So that's Pinnacle has moved it to 6 plus money to the over. So it's exactly the same as that. Mm-hmm. Both teams are well rested, had winning streak snapped and shootout losses on Monday night. Wild coming off a 4-3 shootout loss at Colorado, the cost of their 3-game winning streak. Ryan Hartman will make the trip to Chicago. He's dealing with a non-COVID illness, and he's been so good this year. What idiots the Blackhawk brass are for giving him away for nothing. What idiots. For these Wild, defenseman Jonas Brodin, who's very good, and Nick Bukestad are still both out with upper body injuries. Blackhawks had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a 3-2 shootout loss at Seattle. Brett Connolly and Kirby Dach are both out with COVID, and Eriksson Ek is back for the Minnesota Wild. Take it away here, Gogster. Wild Blackhawks.
This is the line here, guys. It's kind of got me shaking my head on this one. I'm surprised. I don't know why it's so low for Minnesota, Jim. And Talbot, too. I see Talbot could be back. 3 players here. Hartman, Jimmy's saying he is going to be in. Or not in, but he's making the trip. I do expect him to be in. Spurgeon as well. He's questionable for this one. And Talbot. Eriksson Ek, he's going to be in as well. I think Minnesota, I don't see why not against Chicago here. Also, Dylan Strome, Jim, he also has COVID, along with Doc, Jones, and Conley is what I have here. Yeah, is that Jones?
Seth Jones out of the lineup?
Well, I could be wrong here. I'm just seeing that's what my my stats have there.
That's huge because let me. Okay, keep going. I'm gonna see if I can.
Sorry there, guys. Yeah. If you can just confirm that, but I just saw from what I had there, it was on the 11th, so that it's unless it's a really bad battle, you would have thought he'd be back by now. But yeah, guys, Minnesota regulations. I'm going to be pulling the trigger there. I got it at plus 112 on Minnesota here. They're just a much better team than Chicago. Their 4 lines with Minnesota guys, they're just a deep hockey team. The one thing could be with Talbot. If he does play, it's going to be his first game since coming off COVID. Kakinen, on the other hand, it looks like it's going to be Kakinen more likely than not. He's nothing wrong with Kakinen. I think he can hold the fort here just against a Chicago team, guys, that for the most part, they're not a team I can trust. Yeah, they've looked solid. I have their numbers here. They beat Anaheim. They beat Montreal, Columbus, Vegas. Despite Vegas, those are 3 weak teams. They lost 3-2 to Seattle, Jim, but I think Minnesota's the play. I'm just questioning why the line's so low, but I'm trusting that hot 6-0 night last night, and I'm gonna pull the trigger here, guys. Nice plus number here on Minnesota regulation, plus 112. Just too deep of a team here with Minnesota. I expect even a team total over if you guys wanted to play that.
Well, let's just go over a couple things here, and then we'll lock you in. Seth Jones and Strome are in, so that's
okay.
Part of the
that's why the line. That's why the line's.
And Birdie says Minnesota got completely embarrassed last open ice game that is on deck. Says this is a look ahead spot 100% for the Wild. Says Wild is a trap tonight. Caution on Wild. Blackhawks are nothing in his opinion. Banana Grapes on the Wild. We got lots of guys here that are on the Wild. Nate Dogg on the over 5.5. Yeah. Yeah,
and they did coming off Colorado. They lost 4-3 to Colorado their last game, Minnesota. I always like seeing their opponent that they played before. You know how good Colorado is, guys. Now you're going up against a Chicago team that really, in my opinion, only have 2 lines. I think Minnesota's going to bounce back, beat Anaheim 7-3 at home. They've been a strong road team. They beat Boston too a couple games about a week ago. They're 3-2. Just Chicago. They're very hit and miss. They've looked good, guys, their last 4 games, despite losing 3-2 to Seattle their last game out. But I'm going to fade them here. I think Minnesota's the play, despite getting their additions. I don't think Minnesota is going to just fall asleep here at the wheel. Give me the Wild here, guys. Regulation plus 112.
Wild regulation at plus 112. That was tweeted out by Mr. Gogster. Wild regulation plus 112. All right, let's keep rolling. I'm hesitant. Sorry, say what?
Sammy Calmer here just said the Wild are at home. I was just saying they're on the road.
On the road tonight, yeah. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next up, 10 p.m. Eastern. I did move on the Florida Panthers on the puck line. Didn't even bother with the -1.5 and just crushed this move. I got plus 145 on the puck line. It's now plus 120. It was minus 180 at the time. It's now minus 220. And I watched this Canucks team very closely. And JT Miller's our best player. He's 100%. So good. We are enamored with his play, with his character, with everything he does. Now you have JT Miller and Bo Horvat both on the COVID list, and Connor Garland. Now it's possible that Horvat or Garland could return, but JT Miller and Thatcher Demko aren't going to return. Yaroslav Halak has been so good of late. He's also on the COVID list. So it sucks because they're playing good hockey, and now you have all these guys on the COVID list. So this, even though the Panthers are coming off a 6-0 win, now that makes me uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie. It makes me uncomfortable. But without sweet Margaret Thatcher Demko and Halak backing up, I just don't see how without Miller and Horvat, I just don't see it. Like, I just
don't let DJ see Margaret.
Oh, you're right. Big boss would show up out of nowhere and be immediately aroused. Spencer Knight. I don't want to back Spencer Knight. I don't want to back a team that just won 6-0. These aren't things I want to do, but I don't see how the Canucks pull this off without these big pieces. But we've seen teams do it. Now we get to Michael DiPietro. He's 22 years old. He's not looked good in Abbotsford this year. He has a save percentage under 900. And I don't trust
DiPietro. It's Spencer Martin.
Spencer Martin? They're not playing DiPietro?
No. They've seen enough of DiPietro, Jim. I remember seeing him too. They're going with Spencer Martin there. I saw him confirmed.
Wow.
Yeah, Spencer Martin too. I couldn't remember what team I saw him on. It was the AHL Syracuse Crunch a couple years ago. He's not exact. He's nothing special here, guys. Played a lot in the ECHL too. Spencer Martin here. There's 2 AHL goalies getting the call up: Decord, and Spencer Martin's the other one here. He's looked okay this year. 5 wins, 2 losses.
Yeah,
but it's a depleted Vancouver team, and now he has to come in here. Poor guy's going to just get lit up. And it's Florida. Yeah, they're coming off a back-to-back, but this team peppers the puck. I'm all over Florida regulation. I took minus 124. Even Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight's much better than Martin. Even though he's a young goalie, Spencer Knight, he's still got a little bit more to prove. But Spencer Martin, it's a battle of the Spencers. Spencer Knight and Spencer Martin. I think Florida's going to be the play here. Vancouver also, they're coming off a 9-game road trip. Is that right? Yeah, 9-game road trip, Jim. It's insane. So they're coming off first game back off a road trip too. This will be the 3rd game on the road for Florida. I think they get her done here, guys. What do you got, Jim?
Florida in regulation. So then what do we have? Because this wasn't part of what you tweeted out. So what do you have?
Yeah, I wasn't out. I was gonna tweet out this game. I had to wait till the morning to do it, so I got it at minus 124 on the regulation. I'm gonna tweet that out here just after the show, guys. The additions, but yeah, I like this one a lot.
And look at that, over 6.5 at minus 135, which means a 7's going to be available. I wanted to take the under 7 last night. I do not see the Panthers needing to put up a ton of goals here, but I do not want to be on under when I don't know enough about these goals. What is the age of Spencer Martin? Spencer Martin is
95, 96.
26 years old out of Oakville.
Yeah.
3rd round pick in the 2013 draft.
You see, I also checked the games he played against Belleville because I know I saw him before. Belleville, their AHL team here, which is a lot of Bathurst and Norris, they had 6 goals, 4 goals, and I think 3 or 2 goals against him. So he's got touched against them. He's going up against a Florida NHL team now. Yeah, that was a while ago. He could be a lot better, improved player. He's still young. But the team in front of him in Vancouver, Jimmy said it, without Horvat and Garland and even JT Miller, that's huge. And even Hamonic and Brisebois, those 2 are still out as well. So it's a tough spot, I think.
I know the spot here for me. Easy. Canucks. I'm already on the Panthers minus 1.5, but I'm going to add the Canucks team total under 2.5. It's a plus 100 right now. Yeah. I'm going to add that. Look, I don't trust Spencer Knight, but I do not see how offense is going to be produced. Canucks team total under 2.5 at plus 100. That's available right now at Bet365, and
I'm seeing plus 106 here at Pinnacle, buddy.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I only will make official like what I bet, so I'll wait on that and see what it is. Dennis Garcia said I'm tempted to take another terrible goalie. I don't think this goalie is terrible. I think that if DiPietro was in there, that it was terrible. I don't think. Look, there's a reason why they brought him up, and he was a 3rd round pick, 63rd overall in 2013. He's earned the opportunity to get this chance. He's a 2.24 goals against average, 921 save percentage in Abbotsford.
I know it's smaller sample size. With him with Syracuse, he could have been, maybe he's gotten a lot better from there, but I've seen enough from him in like 2 years with Syracuse, and he didn't even get called up. Well, I know it's Tampa Bay with Vasilevsky, but I have a hard time. And Syracuse defense wasn't even that bad. It's not like Syracuse crunch guys. They had a bad defense. They had a pretty good defense back then. It's just, it's a tough spot.
And at this point, Dennis, I've lost all the confidence in the Stars, and the Canucks are not nearly the hockey team they were 2 months ago. So I'm not sitting here confident in the Dallas-Vancouver matchup that we have. Okay, let's move on. Here we have 2 games left before we have NCAA basketball with Maxwell Smart. Next up, 10 p.m. Eastern, Tampa Bay Lightning, 27-9-5, 13-5-2 on the road to Anaheim Ducks, 19-16-7, 12-7-4 at home. We're in the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Andre Vasilevsky, 23-6-3, 2.20 goals against average, 923 save percentage, 2 shutouts. And Dennis mentioned what happens if the Lightning lose Vasilevsky. That could, when I was making these future bets. But you can say that about a lot of teams in the NHL right now. Even the Florida Panthers, who they're messing with. You could say that about the Maple Leaf. I mean, there's a lot of teams with just one goaltender right now, but I do understand what you're saying there. There's Ski Profit in the house. Great to see you, Ski. And Nutflash Island says, did you see my notes to me? I have Vancouver team total under with a big start next to it. Top Shelf Puck says Lightning puck line. Let's just take a look at the market here. Look, I'm very high on Tampa right now. This total opened up at 6 at the pick'em. There's been a 12-cent move to the under, and I get why that is. I mean, the Ducks haven't scored in the last 2 games. Then we have the Tampa opening up at minus 220. They're now minus 229, minus 231. Tampa power play at 20.5%, penalty killing 80.8%. Anaheim power play at 25%, penalty killing 85.1%. If you watch Johnny Gibson against the Avalanche, he was so good, and I've seen him be so good on a couple of occasions. When the Canucks went into Anaheim the night before I saw the Kings and Canucks play at Crypto, Gibson was unbelievable. He's starting to show us that again. 918 save percentage. Lightning coming off their 4th straight win, 6-4 at the Kings on Tuesday night, but they're missing 3 defensemen. And in the past, I've thought that made them vulnerable, and then Hedman plays 30 minutes and they have the guys to step up. But Jan Ruda, Zach Bogosian, Eric Cernak all out with injuries. Andre Palat skated on Thursday, but he's doubtful to play Friday. He didn't take part in any line rushes. He's missed 3 games. We don't know the ailment. Ducks have been dealing with a COVID outbreak coming in off their 4th straight loss, 2-0 at home with the Avalanche. They've been shut out in back-to-back games, but you have to think that some of these guys are going to come back. They're at home. Troy Terry, their leading scorer, defenseman Josh Manson and Cam Fowler, Anthony Stolars. Sonny Milano's out with an upper body injury. He's been really good this year. I like that kid. Take it away here, Gogster, Lightning Ducks.
Yeah, the injuries are the big reason why they haven't been able to score, guys. Milano, Troy Terry as well. And then you have Mac Jones is out, Josh Mason, Fowler. They're missing a lot of players, really, especially Sonny Milano and Terry. Like with Zegras, without one of those two, Zegras doesn't go, and you've seen it. Now I'm seeing right here that who is it here? Sonny Milano, he's questionable. He's missed the last 2 games with an upper body issue, but remains to be seen if he's going to take the ice on Friday against the Lightning. So it's still a lot of questions, but just Tampa Bay is a healthy team. Defensively, could be better, but you got Vasilevsky in net. Just looking at their lines here for Tampa Bay. Yep. So Perry, they got Perry with Point and Kucherov on the first line. Killorn with Cirelli, Stamkos, Maroon, Belmar, Joseph, Kachuk, Colton, and Radish. So I've seen a better Tampa Bay team, to be honest. But I'm going to pull the trigger, guys, here. I got them in regulation as well. McDonough, Sergachev, Foote, Hedman. They still have a solid enough defense. I'm going to take Tampa Bay here, guys. Gibson has looked good on 0.928 save percentage, 2.13 goals against. It's just until these guys kind of show it. Eventually, Anaheim's going to be a bet on team again. Once they get Troy Terry back, Jim and Milano, a couple of defensive players back, I think, I'll be betting on Anaheim. But the line's a little bit high. I got the regulation, Jimmy. This is one of the higher juices. It's minus 137. But I'm gonna trust Tampa Bay here. Anaheim's lost 4 in a row too, so they're probably going to be desperate. They're going to put their best foot forward here. But I like Tampa Bay. They're playing solid hockey right now, and I don't see it's going to slow down.
Troy Terry and Cam Fowler being back in the lineup would not surprise me at all. Josh Manson probably needs another couple of days, but we're now at day 8 and 9 for Fowler and Terry. So I expect them to be back, but I don't think that will change things that much.
No.
Plus it's just plus 100 for me, plus 110 for you at Westgate. I like it. Okay, so
I got regulation. I like it.
I get to look. Let's move on to the final game on the card before we jump into NCAA basketball, and we get to the spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford that has been running really, really hot. Let's take one last look at Margaret Thatcher Demko, but let's bring in the spreadsheet play of the day for our guy Ron Crawford, and that is the Blues, and I'm on the Blues as well. We hit Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington with the Kraken on the second half of a back-to-back. Seattle opening up at plus 165. They're now at plus 144. Is that real? At Pinnacle, plus 144. It feels like that's because it the
plus 144. I got
wow, yeah, they are. Jesus, wow. So a big move towards the Kraken at home, which must mean that I got a shit line. Let me just see what I got here on the Blues. I got oh no, I got that exact line. I got minus 170. Okay, nothing changed here for me. I got minus 170. The puck line's gone up 5 cents, so I could have got a 5 cent better puck line. I got the minus 1 line and minus 112. Okay, so no worry there. Slatsy says Blues regulation minus 107 best bet. Kraken back to back, and Blues just beat the Kraken, missing 5 regulars, and they're all back now. They're all back now. This is as healthy as this Blues team has been all year. They've won 4 or 5 games. Their power plays at 29.5%, penalty killing at 84.3%. Kraken special teams have not been very good. It's just the defenseman Scott Prunovich who's out of the lineup, and
is Buchnevich in?
Everybody.
Okay, yeah, Buch is probable. Yeah, sorry.
They're all in. So I think the Blues were I was with Slatsy. I think it's a really nice spot for the Blues to come out and attack. Take it away here, Ghost. Their last game on the card, Blues Kraken.
All right, one thing, Gorgiev's in for the Rangers. I don't like that. The unders are a little bit in the air. I just saw Gorgiev's confirmed here from one of their beat writers. So plugging the nose on that early no goal, 9 minutes, 30 seconds. But moving on to this one, St. Louis, Seattle, Binghamton and Decord. Decord's been a solid goalie, guys. 4th in the AHL with his save percentage here and goals against 9.25, 2.18. Actually played in Belleville back in the day. So I got to see this guy. He was a big reason why Belleville was so good with Norris and Batherson. Eventually they lost Hogberg because of all the injuries with Ottawa, and Decord came up from the ECHL and he's made a name for himself, and look at him now. He hasn't looked back. So this is a good goalie here, guys. They played a couple weeks ago, or about a week ago, 2-1 for St. Louis. I would imagine this is going to be a tighter. Seattle guys, the last 4 games have all gone under 3-2, 3-2, 3-1, 2-1. And they played some overs the last 2 games, St. Louis against Nashville and Toronto, which are much more fast-paced teams. They go. With that being said, I did pull the trigger on St. Louis minus 111. A healthy St. Louis team is one of the best teams. I'd say top 5 team in the NHL. So I'm going to trust St. Louis here. Back-to-back for Seattle. Decord, I think he's going to be solid here. I'd lean to the under, even maybe a Seattle team total under, to be honest. They looked really good against San Jose last night. They out-hustled them, outmanned them to the puck. Let's see him do it again against St. Louis team. I don't think it's going to happen. So St. Louis regulation, guys, minus 111 is going to finish off the card.
Gogster on the Blues in regulation. I do not think this is a top 5 team in the NHL.
When they're healthy, their offense?
They're off. Yes, sure. Sure. They're offense. And I like Colton Parayko too. I don't know if I trust Binnington that much. And I don't.
I think they're good enough where, like, if they're down 3-1, I would never count out St. Louis. Like, they could still, you know what I mean, come back, kind of like a Colorado in a way, but not as potent. But
I haven't been that high on them this year, but they're a quality hockey team. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's review NHL action again. Our Mr. Gogster coming off board sweepage. So I don't care that Georgiev is in there.
I don't mind it. I don't. You know what? It's probably better because obviously Shesterkin didn't want to go here. He wasn't right. So Georgiev probably gave him the better chance. But Georgiev, guys, I've seen him just be off. I've seen him be off, and this is going to be a good Carolina team. So
I'm gonna have to think about it a little further. Than Gogster's got the no goal first, 9 minutes 30 seconds plus 115. But I still think it's going to be a tight game. I still think it's going to be a tight game. So then we have Pittsburgh, Columbus, nothing for us. I want the over. I want that over at a big plus line at plus 110. I like that plus 110 over. Let's take another look at it here. Oh, shit. It's moved to plus 105. Damn. Okay. I love the plus 110. Okay. It's moved to plus 105. I still like it. Like it. And I still have interest in the Red Wings. But I really do. I just look. Did Dallas's road woes go away because they beat the lowly Sabres? I don't know. Then I'm on the Islanders minus 1.5. Oh no, you're on the Islanders minus 1.5 and minus 103. Sorry, that's you, Gogster. I'm not on the Islanders. I just need to see more of them here. Wild regulation for Gogster, and that's another spot that I'm not on. Then I'm on the Canucks team total under 2.5. Haven't bet it yet, but going to move on it. I'm on the Panthers minus 1.5 and plus 145. I smashed that market move, which was expected. And we've seen teams step up under these COVID situations, so that wouldn't be shocking here. And then Gogster's on Florida in regulation at minus 124. Gogster's on Lightning in regulation at minus 137. And he's on the Tampa Bay Lightning in regulation at
a lot of regs.
Oh, sorry, I said that minus 137. Minnesota regulation plus 108. That was the one I missed. Minnesota regulation.
You got 6 picks, right? 6 on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blues in regulation minus 111. Spreadsheet play today is the St. Louis Blues, and I am on the Blues on the minus 1 line at minus 112. That is our NHL card. Stay hot, Gogster.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it, guys. Get that cash again. Let's see if we can go another sweep. And thank you so much for having me, Jim. We'll see you guys again next week. Be good, stay out of trouble, guys, and get that cash.
There he is, Mr. Gogster, the pride of Belleville, Ontario. He is. Look at the winners that we have on the show. Gogster 27 and 20, 57.4% plus 5.38 units ROI plus 11.45%. That's 47 games. Your next guest has been on our show and made 144 picks on the show and has been incredibly strong. ROI plus 2.51%, which if professional gamblers, that's exactly what you want. Plus 3.61 units, 52.1%. And he brings the excitement. Please welcome to the show the Cupcake King, Maxwell Smart in the house. Maxie, what's happening, my man?
Jimmy, I'm really pissed. I'm so pissed right now that I'm wearing a fucking headband on the show. You see this thing on my head, Jimmy? That means that I'm ready to fuck with my eyes open, and that Greek piece of shit Gus, you ain't getting any more of my money today. I gave enough of it to you yesterday. I'm coming for some fucking cock soup, fucking servings, and I'm going to be dishing it out icy fucking cold, Jim.
Ooh, cold cock soup today. Oh, God. All right. We got cold cock soup on the menu for Gus. We have Maxwell Smart, who's hit 14 of his last 20 picks here on Betting with the Bag. And we missed you yesterday, Max. It's great to have you back in action. Let's get right to work. Let me get some stuff up.
Jim,
yeah, my man.
Let's highlight the fact that it was actually probably a blessing in disguise that I wasn't on the show yesterday, because my day was shit. My best bets were shit. And, I was really aggravated. So it's actually a good thing that I wasn't here.
I hear that, but the chat brings the best out of you here. And in our new format, you have been very, very, very strong. Let's get rolling right away. We have our guys, Sammy Culmer and TJ, wanting to talk Michigan State, Wisconsin. Michigan State whiskey here on deck. Let's see what we have here. They're going to give me market. They're not even going to give me anything here. What the hell's wrong with this site? Oh, why does that say? Sorry, I've got the wrong. Why is it not? Sorry, my fault here. Let me just fix this up. Yeah, I don't have it listed for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with this book, but can you take it away? I'm sorry, I can't give you a nice setup here.
Yeah, right now I have a opening line of 4.5 with Michigan State, and it is now down to 3.5. And when it comes to the total, we did have a 140 opener, and that is down to 139. I think that with this game, Jim, it's pretty evident to see that this Wisconsin team is a make or break team with Johnny Davis. He is an absolute bulldog. He is fierce. If you watch his body language on the court, how can you not get hyped watching this kid play basketball at the collegiate level? He is definitely a guy that you should be attacking on prize picks, on monkey knife picks, on whatever props that you can get this guy on, because when it comes to fantasy points, when it comes to points scored, he is the reason why Wisconsin wins basketball games. And what I love about Wisconsin is the fact that they have guys really willing to play through injuries and battle through freaking shooting slumps, which everybody on this roster has gone through. The thing that I like about Wisconsin at home is Brad Davison. Obviously, I've talked about this in the past. I'll bring it up again. He was asked to be a 3-and-D player for so long. And now this year, he's been asked to be a primary scorer. And he's been able to do it. He is hitting corner threes in the second half that are clutch. I think Wisconsin gets up for this game. And I got to back them first half when it comes to this spot. I think that with the total, Michigan State can put up points. We know that they can put up points. Max Christie is no joke. The two-headed monster you have at the point guard spot with Tyson Walker and A.J. Hogger, that's definitely a game changer. It's going to be a battle, but I want to take Wisconsin on their home floor, at least in the first half, and gauge how the game is going, and then try and put a live bet on Gus's book, and hopefully have his girlfriend bring me some money.
Well, Wisconsin first half is minus 1.5 at minus 112 at Pinnacle. Does that work for you?
Listen, it's a nice number. I think that I want to see if this line goes down since it's already moved down a point. And like we've seen in college basketball, especially the last 2 days, these 2.5 or 3.5 point lines, they make a big deal. And if you can get that 2.5, that just makes that first half number sweeter. So I'm going to be waiting on this line and just tracking it through the day.
I like it. So we're not making that official yet, the first half?
No, we are not, Jim.
Okay, my fault. Okay, so I'll just be listening. You'll make it clear, and I won't. My fault. Let's move on. Next up, Mark Schillingberg looking at Robert Morris, PFW, Purdue Fort Wayne in the house. Purdue Fort Wayne opening up at -7. And they're saying here, and let's see if this is a factual, that, wow, Pinnacle has moved this total 6 points, opening at 7:30 this morning at 144.5 and up to 150.5 right now. Take it away here for our guy, Mark Schillingberg, Pennsylvania's finest, Mark Schillingberg. Take it away here, Robert Morris, PFW.
Yeah, I think that when you look at PFW, they have the offensive potency. You love the fact that Damian Chongqui has really stepped up his pace and tempo when he's handling the basketball. When you play for Mount St. Mary, you are playing that snail pace of a tempo, and sometimes it's hard to come out of that when you move to a new team. He's done a fantastic job of doing that. And with Robert Morris, while I did think that losing Rasheed Dunn was a big deal, we have seen Mike Green, the former Bryant point guard, be able to step up in that role. They were able to beat Northern Kentucky in their last game. It was very impressive to me. And I think that if this team can get past the 70-point plateau, I think that they're going to be able to have a chance to stay within this number. What I like most in this game, and because we haven't seen a huge move as big in that spot, is the first half over. We had an opener of 69.5. There still are 69.5s. And I think that that's the one play I want to make official with this line moving as much as it did. 3.5 points a minute with Mike Green running the show on one side definitely gives me hope and prosper. So let's make that our first official play of the day.
The first half over.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to line shop for you to see what I can get you. Pinnacle hanging.
There is a 69.5 at a variety of legal Vegas books, I would say.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Let's lock in.
Westgate, South Point, or Caesars.
Robert Morris, PFW, first half over 69.5 with just regular minus 110 juice.
Regular minus 110 juice, sir.
All right, there you go, Mark Schillingberg, my man. We got questions coming in from our chat. Please keep firing them in. We will discuss these spots for you. And we have a big one. We have a game that Billy Brisbane's talking about. We have a game that Jeff Slaughter came in and said back Maryland. Wesley Costas, Paulie Walnuts want to talk about Illinois versus Maryland as well. Billy Brisbane says Maryland plus 4.5. I saw it open at plus 7.5. It was the highest bet on game last night in New Jersey from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. He says, Max, is the number still good today?
I think that with Kofi Coburn out with a concussion, this is an Illinois team that has to really shoot efficiently from the three-point line if they're going to have a shot in this game at all. I think that I have to respect the line move, and I have to look at Maryland to come out and give you a good first half with Fats Russell and Eric Ayala, with their ability to score from the perimeter and to be able to handle it on either side. You do have a lot of versatility in the half court. It's just about getting those good corner 3-point looks for Maryland, which we see them hoisting up a lot of. I think that when you look at their front court, they're going to be able to definitely have the advantage here, because what I saw from Berdan Vosana just did not really impress me offensively. A guy that misses a lot of free throws. He's going to give you some good defense, but taking Kofi Coburn's 24 points out of the lineup, I think that it's going to be a real adjustment for Illinois, and I don't think it's going to be a good one.
And that's all the way down to plus 4 now at Pinnacle. Plus 4 now at Pinnacle. We're going to keep rolling. Next up, we have Toledo, Ohio. Toledo, Ohio. This was asked for by our guy, Bill McDonald. Shout out, Bill. Toledo is 4.5 point dogs right now, juiced at minus 115 at Pinnacle, and this total sitting at 148. I don't have the market movement. I don't know if you know it, but take it away here, Max. This is the first game on the card. Pops off 6 p.m. Eastern. Toledo versus Ohio.
Yeah, I think that with this line, it's very sharp. I think that there really isn't a clear advantage to me when it comes to a first half edge. Both teams have been able to really be dominant early on. And with Toledo, especially on the road, that's going to be the biggest thing for them. Can they bring that home dominance that we've seen over and over again on the road? by my estimations, I think that they can. It's going to be very important that they take good 3-point looks and not just hoist them up. And when you look at that starting lineup with 4 potential 40% 3-point shooters in Dennis, Rollins, Schmidt, and Milner, it's hard not to like Toledo at this number. They're very good at the free throw line. And with Ohio, this is probably the best ball screen offense in the MAC conference. And if they don't shoot the basketball well early, they're going to be in big trouble. I think it's a hard game to take either side on. I think that the more attractive way would be to take a full game under. But I'm not going to make it official, Jim.
You've done very nice work with Fresno State, and we love the late game in college basketball very, very much. And this is your late game. Fresno State, Nevada. We have our guy, Pound Cake Pusha, asking about this game, and he is not the only one. We have Cashman19 wanting to know Fresno State, Nevada as well. We have Fresno State opening up as 2.5-point favorites, and the market is switched to Nevada. Nevada now a 1.5-point favorite. This total has gone up from 135.5 to 138 or 138.5. Take it away here, Max, the degenerate late night special, Fresno State, Nevada.
Yeah, I think that when you look at it, Nevada just has not made you money in conference yet. Obviously, a lot of these trends tend to change, and we do see that the steam moves based off that a lot of the time. With Fresno, what's worked for me in conference is backing them in the first half. I think that going out on the road definitely has not been as fruitful as some of their home appearances, but Nevada just has not played up to expectations at all. And I think that this is a spot where Fresno is going to be able to have some advantages. I think that if they can disrupt Nevada's ball movement and they can do a good job not getting beat on the defensive glass and giving up those second chance opportunities to guys like Warren Washington, I do think that Fresno can outright win this game. I didn't agree with the line move as it happened, and I like Fresno in the game. I think that Fresno first half would be the play I'd make official for the show, and hope that that defense that we've seen keep plenty of teams in the conference already under 30 points in the first half shows up once again.
I will line shop for you Fresno State first half, and we will lock that in for you. Let's keep rolling. When pace is nice here, Maxie. We missed you, and it's great to have you back in action. The next spot up happens to be none other than our guy, Matty Ice, still getting over COVID. Thinking about you, Matty. Our guy gave us Rice -2.5, who's an easy casher yesterday. He's on Niagara -1.5. Says just flat out better shooting team at all 3 levels with the best player on the floor. Give me the home team that shoots 75% from the line. So we got Niagara, and with Niagara so close to us, Max, I know you capped this team very closely, and so this is another game that's not on my board for some reason, which is such bullshit. This pissed me off. Can you talk to us about this spot, the play of the day, Max?
Yeah, listen, when we look at that Niagara game, Jim, it's a line that opened up at 124.5 and is down to 123 or 123.5 or 123. And with the spread, it did open at 2.5 points in favor of Niagara, and that's down to 1.5. I think that when you look at this game, Niagara definitely has the offensive tempo and power to freaking win this game. When you look at the additions that Jordan Citron and Sam Oriole have been to this lineup, it's really given them versatility and given them what Maddie pointed out, that 3-level balance scoring. And I think that that is going to be a key for Niagara. The way that they were able to lock down defensively against Manhattan, knowing that Steve Meisello had such a good track record against this roster, I think that teams get up for that that kind of stuff, and we saw Niagara do it. Now, can they carry that over to a very stingy St. Peter's team? The St. Peter's team is definitely going to do a very good job on the offensive glass, and that's how they get a lot of extended possessions. They're not a clean shooting team. By all means, that is 100% undeniable, but they have improved from the free throw line. And with Darryl Banks, this is the guy that has to be the difference maker for St. Peter's if they're going to have a shot. To me, I think that Niagara as a money line play is the way that I would attack it. And even though it is a little juicy, I still think that this game is going to come down to the last 5 minutes of the second half. And I'd rather be on a money line and not be reliant on a point or two when both defenses are very stout.
Great breakdown, Max. Just going over the Fresno State first half spot, we have some options here. You can have Fresno State +1, but it's so juiced -117. The Fresno State money lines +102 at Pinnacle. The Fresno State money lines +106 at Circa, and the +1s -114.
Yeah, let's go with the money line, Jim. Let's cut out that vig.
All right, it is cut. First half +106 on Fresno State. Max has 2 official picks locked in. Again, 14 of his last 20 have been winners here on the show. And we're taking suggestions from the chat as to what games they want broken down. And our Dennis Garcia, who gives so much to us, wants to talk Kent State, Buffalo, Maction for our guy, Dennis Garcia. And we have Buffalo opening up at 7.5. Bodog has moved it to 7. This total opening up at 145, and it's shooting up. Bodog has it at 150. Pinnacle has it at 148. Take it away here, Max. Kent State, Buffalo.
Just before we get into that, I just want to say that I want to make the Niagara money line an official play. So can you line shop for me while I'm breaking this down? And absolutely, for freaking Dennis Garcia, freaking a savant in so many goddamn areas, and a definitely great influence when it comes to your betting, I have no problem breaking this game down for you. I think that when you look at Kent State, the 2 games that they've gone over, this definitely could be the third one. I think that with Kent State, it's all about Sincere Carey. Sincere Carey, when he carries this team, that's when he's able to really put Kent State on the map. I think that with Buffalo, they're so reliant on those offensive rebounds and really doing a good job of limiting you on the other side. Kent State's going to have to be able to shoot the ball well and take away some of those opportunities for Buffalo. I think that with Kent State, there's just so much volatility going on with this lineup and guys being in and out. It's hard for me to back Kent State. The way that I'd have to look at it is to back Buffalo on the first half and then go from there. With Buffalo, they definitely have the guard play with Ronaldo Segou. And in the first half, that's when they've been their most consistent. It's really been other teams making good halftime adjustments and then being able to come back on them that Buffalo struggled with. But in the first half, you know, a team that shoots 70+% from the free throw line and is as efficient and has as much size, I would definitely be backing them at home and just riding first half.
Man, I get it. I absolutely get it. Wow, Bonkuki, that's nuts. That's nuts. By the way, I got you Niagara money line full game -118 at Pinnacle.
Sounds good.
Cool. And that's a huge difference from what it is in other books. Circa hanging Niagara money line -134. So let's keep rolling here. Great breakdown. That was for you, Dennis Garcia. Next up, Warren Anderson wanting to talk about Bryant Merrimack. We have Brian opening up as 2.5-point favorites. That's down to 1.5 or 1. This total opening up at 132 at Pinnacle. It's now 132.5 or 133. Pinnacle leading the way to that over. Take it away here, Max. Bryant Merrimack.
Yeah, I think that with Bryant, they're probably coming into their own right now. I think that getting on to this mini 2-game winning streak in conference, winning freaking 4 out of 5 in conference to start the season has been very good. I think that at this number, and that's what we're betting the number, not the team. The number makes sense with Bryant on the road. The key for Bryant is to win on the glass. They got to be able to extend possessions when their 3-point shooting isn't there. And against a team like Merrimack, you know, Merrimack definitely has first half appeal to me. However, with their reliance on the 3-point shooting and their inability right now to keep teams off the free throw line, I'm just not willing to back them. I think that Bryant gets enough extended possessions, shoots enough, and makes enough threes to make a difference. And Merrimack's going to have to play Bryant's tempo. Bryant can zone up on you. They can freaking full court you. Jared Grasso is no stranger to changing defenses. And as long as Bryant takes care of the basketball and values possessions, with their arsenal of scoring, it's hard not to back them. And that's what I'll do. So I'll be all over Bryant.
All over Bryant. We have another official play here. I will line shop for you. Warren has another game he wanted to talk about. That's Youngstown State, Cleveland State. Cleveland State opening up at 9.5. At 9 at Pinnacle, and they've dropped it to 7.5. They're leading the way, moving towards Youngstown State. Under 143.5 it opened to, and that's down to 140.5. Take it away here, Max. Cleveland State in action.
Yeah, I think that with Youngstown, it's a really hit or miss what you're going to get from them on the road. I think that for them, if they're going to win the rebounding battle on the road, it's definitely going to go a long way in being able to help them at least stay within this number. I think that when you look at Shamar Raton-Mays, that's the guy that really needs to stand up and be the best scorer for this team. And I think that when you look at him, he's a great facilitator. He has a scoring instinct. He's not afraid to go into the trees and get a rebound. And I just think that with him and Dwayne Cohill, who's came over from Dayton, just a guy that is able to really have an opportunity to be a primary scoring option. And just like Terry Roberts at Bradley, he's taking advantage of the situation. They have a very good three-headed freaking monster with Michael Lacucci also. And if they're able to all get off, and I'm talking like 15 points plus, then they're going to have a chance against Cleveland State. We know that Cleveland State has a ton of depth, but we do know that they're inconsistent shooting. Demoy Hodge is the guy that you really got to keep off the score sheet. He's the game-changing scorer. He's the guy that you got to remember his name when Cleveland State gets to March Madness, and obviously I'm assuming a lot early. However, I think that Cleveland State wins the game. I'm not willing to take them as a 7-point favorite. It's that spread number that just is difficult to cover against a competent offensive team. And I think that these guys really D up on each other. So nothing official on it, but I definitely would lean towards Youngstown, and I definitely lean towards the under.
Do you want Bryant -1 at -108 or money line -114?
-1, -108, please.
Bryant -1 at -108. All right, let's keep rolling. Only a couple games left here for our guy. Next up, we have North Ender. He said, can we talk St. Bonnie's Duquesne? We all love when you talk about your Bonnies, and they've been playing good basketball. So let's give you a market for the St. Bonnie's Duquesne game. I only have it here at Pinnacle. We have St. Bonnie's sitting at -6 at -112, and this total at 136, slightly juiced to the under. I'm sure you know what the market move is. So take it away here, St. Bonnie's and Duquesne.
Yeah, this line opened up at 5, and we had the total open at 138. So we do see heavy movement towards the under, and I'm starting to think that it's getting a little too low. It's pretty close to my number that I had at 134. And with St. Bonaventure, the defense has just been terrible, and not being able to score the basketball has been a problem for them. So against Duquesne, what's really going to help them is the fact that Austin Rotroff, unfortunately, I'm never happy when a collegiate player gets injured unless he plays for Seton Hall. But he got injured, broke his foot, so he's out for at least a freaking month. So that definitely takes away a lot of the front court, not talent, but physicality. I think that we're going to really have to see Duquesne lean on Kevin Easley, lean on Trey Williams, who will definitely start in the middle and have the task of shutting down Oshuni. However, I just think that this Duquesne team, they have the tempo, they have the scheme to really give Bonaventure problems. And if St. Bonnie's isn't scoring, then this is going to be a goddamn rock fight. And I can see a ton of live betting value on the under. From a first half perspective, Jim, Duquesne has the value as a first half money line dog. We just seen the Bonnies struggle early. And if you play the numbers, that's what the numbers are saying. There's no bias or emotion in that. Do I want to bet it? No. Will I? Probably. But, I have to freaking think that my Bonnies are going to be able to win the game. So.
Well, let's keep rolling here. We only have you for a couple more minutes. Mario White and Coco Bongo both looking at Evansville, Illinois State. Illinois State opening up at -7. 1 cent move towards them from -108 to -109. It's the total that's just plummeting. 137.5 dropped 5.5 points at Pinnacle to 132. Take it away here, Evansville, Illinois State.
Yeah, it's an Illinois State spread spot. I think that with Illinois State coming off such abysmal offensive performances, I think that this is a good situational rebound. And with Evansville, they just can't score. They just can't score. So nothing on the total with the move. And I definitely look at Illinois State as a lean.
We've had Dan Bonner in the chat of late, and he's been adding a lot to the show. Respect to Dan Bonner. We're going to let Dan Bonner put a bow on this show, and that's with Siena Manhattan. Siena Manhattan. Let me see if I can pull this up. I don't have it here. Let me move over to Pinnacle and see if I can get it there. At Pinnacle right now, Manhattan 2-point favorites, juiced to -111, and this total at 135. The last game on our show for college basketball. It's Derl ready to attack the NBA card with me. Max, take it away. Siena Manhattan.
Yeah, I think that when you look at Siena and this winning streak that they've been on, there's been a lot of cohesion and there's been good defense. That's what they're going to need against Manhattan. And with Manhattan, if they don't have Anthony Nelson in the lineup again tonight, it just puts that much more pressure on Elijah Buchanan and Samir Stewart to provide the complementary scoring. And I just don't believe in that. If Jose Perez has another 5 for 19 type shooting game, Manhattan's going to lose. And I think that Siena on this win streak as a dog of this number definitely has value to me. So I'd rock with Siena on the money line.
There you have it from Maxwell Smart. Every capper that comes on this show, what we can promise you is transparency and honesty with record keeping. Not selling you anything, just giving you the goods, the facts, the edges, the angles, and then we track them. And Max has given out more picks on this show than any other capper. We're almost at 150 picks from Max, and he's plus units, he's plus ROI, and his VIG is at -101. All very important things to think about for our own capping. How does Max succeed in volume betting? He cuts the VIG down, and he believes in spots. So here we go. This is Max's action here for today. Again, he's gone 14-6 since I've come back from the COVID shutdown. Here we go. Robert Morris, PFW, first half over 69.5 at -110. Fresno State, first half at +106. Niagara, money line at -118. Bryant, -1 at -108. The taint play of the day is Niagara, -1.5. A lot of love coming in for you, Max, from the chat. Polly Walnuts, thanks, Max, for your insight. Billy Briz says, I'm a huge fan of the segment. Thank you, Max. Jose, Jimmy, and Pound Cake Pusher says, let's cash tonight. Dan Bonner says, appreciate it. Respect. Thank you. TJ says, appreciate you, Max. And that goes for all of us. We appreciate you, my man. Check out Max Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern on NCAA Net Profits alongside Connor Max, my man. Any words to lead us into our weekend?
I'm trying to make enough money to take Dr. Mandy to the Bahamas after March Madness. And
Sure.
if I can, I'm going to have sex with her as many times as humanly possible.
Okay.
And pray for me, please. Pray for me.
Sure. You get all of those. There he is, Maxwell Smart in the house. Next up, we have It's Derl. And man, was it fun capping a 13-game card with him on Wednesday. Why was it so fun? Because he went 5-1. I went 6-1. I've carried that over to yesterday, 2-0. You guys know the struggles I've had in NBA. It was so bad that my producer, Jose, wouldn't put my record on the screen. Now it's still a tough record. It's still a record that I'm not proud of. But with Derl's leadership, I'm coming out of it. I'm coming out of it. And Derl, what a day you had. You are now 29 and 25 on the show, hitting at 53.7% plus 2.29 units with an ROI of 4.24%, an average line of minus 106. And we're running hot, baby. Please welcome to the show, LA's finest. It's Derl in the house. What up?
Yo, what is good, Jay? What is good, man? Happy Friday to you, dog. Happy Friday. Happy to be alive, man. Happy to be alive. And I hate this card today. I really do. I hate this fucking whole entire slate. Numbers wise, games should be good, but numbers I hate, bro. I'll probably finish this bottle before the show's over with. So I already started drinking, man. I just couldn't believe
it. You're making me want to have a beverage on a Friday is what you're doing. Maybe
I got to the point, man.
Wine on the go?
Oh, goddamn, yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey,
okay.
It's 12 o'clock somewhere, ain't it?
All right. Pull me out. Jose, jump on. I'm
Hey, Jimmy. Have fun. Well, that was fun. Hey, Derl, do you want to talk some shooty hoops?
Yeah, let's talk some hootie shoops.
Okay, so let's talk about what happened yesterday. So, Derl, word on the street is that you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah, hey.
Do you know what team I support, Derl?
I know you support the Spurs.
No, Daddy, no. I'll put my Bruins hat back on. I'll show you my Red Sox hat.
Okay, so Celtics fan.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to remind you that the Lakers lost a crushing game to whoever the fuck they played.
That's fun.
And the Pacers, right? I don't know. They stink. The Lakers are terrible. LeBron's so washed. Oh my God.
Jose, Boston's kind of washed, bro. I mean, you bet not lose tonight, man. You bet not lose.
All right. I'm back in action. A glass of red wine.
Yeah,
at
man.
9:36 a.m. in the morning.
Bro, it's 12 o'clock somewhere. It's 12 o'clock somewhere, right? 12:30 somewhere. Cheers to everybody in the chat, man. This is for y'all. Let's get this fucking money. Let's get this.
You are glass act red wine.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, now we're running hot, Derl. We're running so hot. We got to keep this heat coming, baby. We got to keep it coming. The Paulie Walnut's talking about the I don't give a fuck what the spread is play today is.
I got two of them.
Fire. Look, we beat COVID.
We beat it.
We're running hot in NBA, and Daryl's got a glass of red wine at 9:30.
Cheers. 9:30 in the morning, but it's Friday, man. You know what I'm saying? The rule is, on Friday, you really don't have a time when to start, or for that matter, stop drinking. I mean, you just have to stop by, Sunday night. So,
hiya! Let's get to work right now. We got Schnizzle's action. Raps Wizards over 217.5. And Ron Crawford, NBA spreadsheet play today is the Raptors. Schnizzle's also on the Thunder Hornets over 221.5, and the Grizzlies Nuggets over 221. Let's get right to work. And it is imperative.
Yeah.
For me to keep the winners coming. And I can imagine that
T-Mac, I see y'all. Jose,
what vocals right now are going to be even smoother with a glass of red.
Why would Jose come on here talking shit about the Lakers and he's a Boston fan?
He's just trying to rile you up. You already hate the card. Let's get to work. Okay. We start with Oklahoma City Thunder at the Charlotte Hornets. Why is this not moving? Sorry, it's moving over here.
Coco, I'm an idiot already, so the wine just makes me more of an idiot, bro. So I feel you.
It's not moving. It's not moving for me. I don't know why. Let me just see why it's not moving. Okay, I'm going to have to move this. Sorry. I'm going to pull up the market moves here in a second, but let's just get to work here at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. Oklahoma 1-4 over their past 5, 11th in pace and 98.50 possessions game, while Charlotte is 4-1, 13th in pace at 98.20 possessions a game. Thunder coming off their third straight loss, 118-96 of the Spurs on Wednesday night. Aaron Wiggins provided a team high 19 points, 8 of 11 shooting. They're last in the NBA in points per game at 100.7. Last in three-point shooting percentage at 31.2. They've scored 97 or fewer in 6 of their last 11 games. The Hornets coming off their second straight win, 111-102 at the Celtics on Wednesday night. LaMelo missed just one game. He came back to action on Wednesday and went for his 4th career triple-double. Oklahoma City Thunder, Charlotte Hornets. Let's get started.
Yeah, this is obviously a Charlotte game, right? And the Charlotte side is the look. It really is. Now, this line might have come down just a little bit, and it was a hook because we know OKC covers spreads, right? You saw what they did against Dallas. Dallas barely won that game. And then I believe it was Utah. You saw, or was it Utah? Or it was the push against Cleveland, right? I'm sorry, man. What you got to look at a lot here is how well Charlotte's been playing besides that embarrassing loss against Orlando. I mean, we're talking about, if it wasn't for the Orlando at this point, 2, 4, 6, 6-game win streak right now, right? What has happened really is, as of late, is Charlotte has kind of moved into that first half territory. Remember, Jimmy, for a while, we've been saying that Charlotte is a second half team, right? Whatever happens at halftime, I told you, Borrego must give his players the coke. They all go do the coke, and then they come back in the second half and smack the shit out of you. But if you look as of late, their body of work, even in the last 10, they've been covering first half spreads, and they're not generally the dog. So if you're afraid of the 9, I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it. I didn't want to give this, I don't give a fucking shit my spread with the spread is here, because you do have to have that little feeling in the back of your head that OKC can cover spreads. But against Charlotte and how well Charlotte's been playing, what Charlotte did to Boston, right? What Charlotte did to New York, what they did to Philly while Embiid was on that 30-point tear a game. This is a game, man, that Charlotte should get up for. So I did take Charlotte first half already. I believe that line is -5 because this is a game they should get up for. This is a game they should get up for. And I'm not afraid of this spread because there's nothing really OKC can throw at Charlotte to where they can't, first off, capitalize on the point they've been playing great ball in the first half, but they can play great ball in the second half. So I'm not afraid. They have a really good body of work going on. Scary Terry is really Scary Terry right now. They're 8-2 last 10 in the first half, and they've just been winning spreads. They've been winning spreads. So whatever you throw at them, I mean, they beat Detroit by 10.5 easily. They covered that. So this hasn't even been the largest spread in their last 10. Now, that game against Orlando, that was an 11.5 spread, and they lost it. But honestly, bro, this is a game that Charlotte should get up for. I already took Charlotte -9 earlier this morning on the show. So Charlotte -9, but to make it official here on this show, give me Charlotte -5 if you have it, or if it's 5.5 first half.
Interesting stuff in this game. Interesting stuff. You have Dennis Garcia in the chat saying, I don't trust Charlotte to win by margin. You have the market following that because only 41% of the tickets are on Oklahoma City, but 62% of the cash. And you've seen this go down. It's now 8.5 at circa. So we've seen it drop a point. So really, and if anybody watched what OKC did in San Antonio, you'd think, how could anybody be doing this? And the stats that we gave out, very, very strange. So let's see what we're doing with.
You saw what San Antonio did with him in the first quarter, right?
Mm-hmm. We were both. That was the only spot we were both on,
right? And you saw how first half went, and then OKC makes these. If anything, OKC is that second half team. But if you look at their record, like for point score, man, bro. They are like almost dead last to first quarter and first half points scored. So you got to see where they come alive and they make their adjustments. I like Daigneault. We've talked about this too. Daigneault's a damn good coach. So I would take the first half on this show. I've already taken it at the -9. I like -5, 5.5 for first half on Charlotte.
You can get 5 at -110. Hornets first half -5 at -110. Fascinating. Market moves here. Patrick Burns says, what if OKC gets up early and this is a game for an in-game play for a shorter number on Charlotte? It's a great way of doing it.
I mean, what if fucking hell froze over, right? I mean, there's so many different things that you can say here, but the numbers show right now that they don't get up in the first quarter. They do not absolutely get up in the first quarter at all, right? This team can make adjustments, but honestly, just look at the numbers. Looking at their stats right now, if you look at their first quarter points per game, Oklahoma City is last. 24 average for the season, 26 average in their last 3, and then in their last game it was 21. Right? So even if you want to look at Charlotte wire to wire, I couldn't talk you off that at all. I couldn't. But where you'll see OKC come alive is during these third quarter stretches when teams kind of give up or just like don't really care about what's going on. But then if it gets too close, they'll just get blown out again. So I don't have any. I mean, you would probably say the best bet would be Charlotte first quarter here, but their record also speaks for itself about how well they do in the first quarter. It wasn't high enough for me to get it. So yeah, I like the first half here. I've made that official on the show here, even though in my own pick I took Charlotte -9, and the official play for me is Charlotte -5, 5.5. If you got 5.5, you can't get 5. Take the 5.5. I don't give a fuck.
You know, I get it.
Derl, you're an inspiration. I've joined you guys.
This is fucking bad.
Welcome to the club.
This
I also have, I don't know if you guys know what this is. I also have this.
Holy shit. Is that sake?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but it's the world's #1 liquor that I'll also be drinking with.
Yeah, hey, bro, you better put that shit in fucking Google Translate and see if you're not drinking goddamn jet fuel. I don't know.
If it's Japanese, it's sake.
It's sake.
You're good. You're safe. You're safe.
It's the world's #1 spirit. That's all that matters, and we're all drinking now. It's Fun Friday.
All right, we got to stay focused, though. We got to stay focused. I'm trying to stay focused, but Rem Mo says I listen to Boys to Men in the background when Derl caps games.
Hey man, that's baby making music
perfectly. Right, Rem, you better flip that chair backwards. I'm the same age. I remember them days. You flip that chair backwards. Okay, let's get right to work. Derl is locked in with the Hornets first half.
Yeah,
-5. One of my thoughts here is you said you know Charlotte's going to be locked in here. Oklahoma City Thunder kind of sets a tone for not being locked in early. You know, you can come in a little lackadaisical, but you're right. OKC feels comfortable falling behind, although it didn't work against San Antonio. We've seen it work against some teams. So, and Topset says time to fade the producer.
Awful.
Okay, let's move on because we've got 10 more games. We've got 10 more games.
10 minutes of the first game, bro. That's funny.
Okay, we move on. LA Lakers 22-23, 7-11 on the road at Orlando Magic, 8-38, 2-16 at home. We're at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. I love capping Lakers games. I love the drama that's going on in LA. It's all extremely enjoyable to cap. Lakers 1-4 over their past 5, 20th in pace at 97.10 possessions a game. And the Orlando Magic 1-4 also over the past 5, 9th in pace at 98.90 possessions a game. Watching Mo Bamba go 7 of 8 from 3 was also extremely enjoyable. I'm a big fan, and watching him step up was wonderful. We have let me go to the full game here. We have the Lakers opening up at -5 at -104, a 6-cent move in their direction. This total has gone from 220.5 to 219, and it's 219 across the board. And from a cash perspective, we have 88% of the tickets on the Lakers and 96% of the cash. That's 6,128 tickets in.
Yeah.
We have 45% of tickets on the over and 36% of cash on the over. But by the way, we didn't talk much about that total with the way the Thunder plays, but 45% of tickets are on the over and 69% of cash. So it looks like sharp action is on the over in that game. But let's stay focused on Lakers. We love hearing you talk Lakers Magic. Lakers coming off their 4th loss 5 games, 111-104 at home versus the Pacers on Wednesday. Much of the focus has been on Vogel not playing Westbrook the final 3 minutes and 52 seconds. He goes 5 of 17 shooting for 14 points. They were outscored by 18 points in the 27 minutes he was on the floor. And I love this shit. James goes for 30 points and 12 boards. Waiting for Anthony Davis's return. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, Lakers keep making this more and more fun. They're 6-9 without him, and he's out. Listed is out, and James is probable with an abdominal strain.
He's in. You know that. Why the fuck do they do that, Jay?
It's the same thing with the Patriots questionable players. On the injury report. But let's go back to Bamba. 32 points. Now, this Orlando team's lost 8 straight home games, 13 of 14 overall. Wendell Carter is missed 7 straight games. Terrence Ross left the game due to a right knee soreness, but he's not on the injury report. I tell you why, because even the doctors know that Terrence Ross is a little bitch. RJ Hampton is out indefinitely with a knee injury. Take it away here. Lakers Magic Love watching you break down the Lakers.
Yeah, so this is what you have to understand. This is a little recency bias, right? This is why this line is the way it is, and this is why money is getting, if anything, the line is going down, even though the majority of the handle and money is on the Lakers, right? You ready for this? Give me Lakers minus. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Give me
putting it on the line.
Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, Jesus.
Minus. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. I don't.
Christ.
This is going to be one of one of these games. Now, mind you, and this says a lot, right? This says a lot about me doing it to the Lakers, God. Right? Lakers have already handled these guys at home, 106-94. This is a get-right game for the Lakers. Sometimes we got to, as cappers and even as fans, right, know that there's more to basketball than just what we see. And what is going on right now is that people's jobs are on the line, literally on the line. And it's not just Vogel that's being scapegoated. It's not just Russ that's being scapegoated, even though people want to say they're part of the problem. But this is an issue that needs to be handled, and you handle that by a big win. You handle that by a big win. And so if you have
win over the Orlando Magic,
and the reason why it is it's bigger than ball. It is bigger than ball, Jimmy. I promise you here. This is a side to where the Lakers are going to come out, play tenacious ball, and win this game outright by double digits. I feel it. It's not even actually being a fan. It's just that me taking a broad look at this being just more than a game. I'm sorry, man. You could call me square as fuck if you want to. Y'all can roast me in the chat. But I promise you, after tomorrow, they're going to be back at 500. They won't go 2 games under 500. And honestly, they will not, without a shadow of a doubt, just barely win this game. This is going to be a game that they're going to get up for. I looked at even Mo Bamba's points. Mo Bamba's not going to give you 7 threes. He's not going to do that. He's not going to give you 32 points. He's projected at 11.5. Right. So it's one of these things now to honestly, this is a game for the Lakers to get up for. And I just feel it here. This is a game that they will win and win by a large margin.
Can I go first, Jimmy?
Yes, you can.
Stake bet, Magic +5.
Oh, no.
Lakers stink, Derl. That's terrible.
That's like I said, call it what you want. Everybody has a side they need to be on and want to be on. Either you don't play the game. Shit, if you're that confident, just play Orlando money line. But no, this is not the type of game. This is a game, if you're going to take the Lakers, in my opinion, this is the game that you take them on when there's so much at stake.
Please, Jose.
Everybody in the audience, now listen to me carefully, is being given a special package, and I don't want you to open it. Do not open it. Cameras are on you, so do not open until I tell you. All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
You get a steak. 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 Everybody gets a steak.
I think the whole chat just got in on the Lakers with Derl. Derl, I can't wait to see your face on the steak montage.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's just the way I feel. I've never felt, and nothing is guaranteed. You always have to say that. But just by looking at the aspect of this game, man, we were saying Lakers were auto fade when they were on that, 4, 5, 6, or 5 games out of 6, and they were against weaker opponents. And Orlando's that type of opponent. Man, I'm sorry. This is a game that I'm confidently willing to say I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is.
Well, I do give a fucking shit what the spread is because I can get you 4.5. It's gone down to 4.5 at circa a minus 110. You have added an enormous amount of fun to the Lakers breakdown. Stake. So the stake is at it doesn't have to be at 4.5. That's the only book that's at 4.5. Jose, what should the stake bet be at 5 or 4.5, or what do you say here?
Derl's confident.
Yeah.
Go take the 5. Derl's confident. You said,
wow. You don't want to get 4.5.
Are you okay giving the stake bet a 5?
That's a 5, bro. That is a 5.
Okay, you
Derl, you said they're gonna win by like 25. Apparently, here comes
hey,
James.
I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you right now, this is a game that they're gonna win by margin.
The Wash King, here he comes. And
Well,
then Mo Bamba.
You've made me very interested in the Lakers, Derl. Turnsy says Derl could talk me into taking the Canucks over the Warriors. That's what he said. I love it. Derl, you got it. Well, we got to stay focused here, and I'm going to slip up at times, but we need you to come to San Antonio and enjoy steaks with us.
All right, bro. All right. Listen.
That last weekend in March, we can help make it happen, but we need you there. Okay, let's keep rolling. We got to keep rolling. That was very, very, very enjoyable. And see, like Dan Kelly says we're on the Lakers. Jose's never won a stake bet. He actually has beaten one person.
Who does Dan like? Dan's gonna say Orlando. He's just off the game. All right, okay. Let's. I want to know too.
If Dan could come in, and let us know. Okay, so we're 25 minutes into the segment and we've gone through two games. Okay, we got 9 left.
Okay, we got it.
You know what? I'm pretty relaxed. I'm pretty at peace here. I got the drink going. You set the tone. You set the tone. So you know what? There's no show after us at this point. We have 4 p.m. NBA Pub Hub, but right now we don't need to worry. Let's get rolling. We stay with the LA action here. Los Angeles Clippers. 22-24, 7-12 on the road at the Philadelphia 76ers, 26-18, 10-9 at home. We're at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Clippers 2-3 over their past 5, 24th in pace at 96.78 possessions a game, while the Sixers are 3-2, 19th in pace at 97.20 possessions a game over the last 5. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with. We have the Sixers at -8.5 right across the board, and this total at 213, and everybody has been sucking Embiid's dick over that 50 points in 27 minutes.
What's your fucking language?
I get it. He looked very good, and everybody's been telling him that. Every single person has been telling him that. The Clippers come in off their third loss in 4 games, and they look better. 130-128 in overtime at Denver on Wednesday. Zubac goes for 32 and 10. Reggie 28 and 12, and they're on an 8-game road trip. So they lose the first game and they put out a ton of energy in Mile High, and then they travel over to Philly. No Marcus Morris, no Nicholas Batum. He's in health and safety protocol. It's too bad because we just saw him go off for 32. Paul George, Kawhi, let's not even speak of him. Now, Luke Kennard did come back. He didn't look very good, 2 of 9 shooting, but he does give them the hope for some scoring, even though we saw them score a ton against the Nuggets. Sixers coming off their third win in 4 games, 123-110 at home over the Magic on Wednesday. Embiid's 50-point, 10-rebound game was the fewest minutes played to do a 50 and 10 since the clock era. Clock era. So impressive. 12 boards, 3 block shots, 17-23 from the floor. No Thibault, no Danny Green, no Shake Milton still. Take it away here. Will Embiid once again take him to the promised land, or will he find things a little trickier against the Clippers front court?
Yeah, he's going to feast on Zubac, right? He is going to feast. I think the issue that you had with Philly was they really had to get it together because it really wasn't much scouting you could do with Bamba. You had to see him in action, right? But there's a lot of scouting you could do with Ivan. So this one here, I honestly believe that there will be defense played, and that total's going down. It's got to be an under game here. First off, it's got to be an under game. It is most definitely got to be an under game. Now, the reason why you had Embiid's points props at 29 was because, and this is just a theory, maybe against Orlando, they didn't, or the books didn't believe that Embiid would even have to play the full game. It would just be that much of a blowout, right? And he wouldn't even hit his 30. I believe here, this is the type of game to where Philly should get up. If you look at their last 10, they're covering spreads, right? They're winning games. They also had that embarrassing loss against Washington and Charlotte, which really wasn't embarrassing. But, man, they beat Orlando bad. They beat them by 13. And that was a game that actually Orlando went off for. This is why I'm saying there's recency bias with the LA game and why that line was so short. It's because of the body of work that Mo Bamba had put in. Pretty much after that, I mean, you're not going to get 7 threes, right? And Philly themselves are not going to let that kind of game, happen again. So in my opinion, this game stays short. It stays under. I'm not afraid of this 213. And the spread itself, I do believe they cover the spread. They've been covering all of their spreads for the games that they're winning. In their last 10, they've covered all of their spreads for the exception of the 2 games they lost. They're 8-2, in their last 10 ATS. So I don't think the Clippers have anything that they can throw at them. Just, you know, it's going to be a slower pace game, a game, in my opinion, that I don't even fucking care to watch. This should be a game to where you just look at the last final score. Philly covers the 8.5. No official play, though.
I feel you. Clippers 44% of the spread tickets, 48% of the cash. This is why I bring it up, because 74% of tickets are on the over and 96% of the cash.
Mhm.
And the reason why I find that very interesting is because it hasn't moved.
Let me tell you something. Here's an angle man, this is a fucking angle that I just might get to. Depends on if this wine kicks in. I was looking at a first quarter angle. The Clippers are damn good in the first quarter. They are damn good in the first quarter. And do you know who's not good in the first quarter? As far as points. Now, listen, as far as points in a body of work, Philly and Clippers are just about dead even. Right? But as of right now, Philly is allowing 30 points in their last 3 and scoring 24. And the Clippers are the exact opposite. They're allowing less points and scoring more. So if you want to have a safe bet, and this was just me trying to dig into the numbers, you would lean Clippers first quarter +3, right? This isn't going to be a wire-to-wire game, in my opinion. So I probably before the show, I got a heavy lean right now in Clippers first quarter +3, but just somebody look at those numbers to confirm them. Clippers first quarter is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy what they do in the first quarter, and they're averaging the same amount of points. So what that tells me is that Ty Lue has a good enough game plan to where they can stick to the game plan, and then those adjustments are made. Defense is played, players not making buckets. I mean, when your best shooters are Reggie Bullock and Ivan Zubac, that's a problem. So, yeah, in this case here, I would say, hey, look at Clippers first quarter. First quarter +3 is probably a good side to be on.
I love that idea because I like going against. Like, I'd be interested. I'd like to see what the Embiid player prop is. I like going against a player who just was magical.
Yeah, Dan, if you're watching, well, not if you, I know you're watching. Somebody see if they can get first quarter numbers. Whomever, look at the first quarter numbers to see if I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, that first quarter is very tricky, and Clippers can play a good first quarter.
I think it's a very interesting look, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. Jared TG says 76ers are a good first quarter team, usually bad second quarter, but I will say +3 is a lot for a first quarter. It sure is. There's Lou Chase Fox in the house. He's been OG with us and Mr. Loshak since we started years ago. So I just want to give a shout out to Blue Chase Fox in the chat. Great to see you. Dan Kelly says, just a quick take on that LA Orlando spot. Says LeBron probably got to Miami yesterday and staying at his place. He's right about that, right? Wouldn't that be right? And he says he's probably going to stay there after Sunday's game. That's a lot of running around for an old man. Interesting point there.
Hey.
All right, let's roll on. I think Clippers first quarter is a very interesting take.
Yeah, I might
especially
step on
after
that.
Everybody whispering in Embiid's ear how spectacular he is. I think it's a really, really. I'm very interested in moving on that. I've moved on nothing in NBA. And those of you who've rolled with me know that I've hit 8 of my last 9, and when I do that, I get a little tighter, and it doesn't necessarily equate to more glory.
I'm telling you, Jay.
But winning begets winning. Winning creates more winning.
That's right.
Take it away, D.
I was gonna say I'm really curious to see if somebody can dig into the first quarter. Not unless I was just seeing things wrong, but I think that is a great play. That is all. We can go to the next game. No, it's not box wine, Deacon. It's not box wine.
We see the ball on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Come on.
7:30 p.m. You think Derl's gonna be drinking at 9:30 in the morning box shit?
Yeah, not box. I do the box wine at night when I'm mad at the Lakers.
Miami Heat 29-16, 14-11 on the road at Atlanta Hawks, 19-25, 10-11 at home. State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Miami 4-1 over their past 5, 27th in pace at 95.40 possessions a game, while Atlanta is 2-3 over their last 5, 12th in pace at 98.30 possessions a game. We have Atlanta opening up as 1.5-point favorites, and that's where it stands right now. This total sitting at 219 or 220. We still don't know what's going on with Kyle Lowry, and we always give
what is up.
leader like him the benefit of the doubt. We know something family related that's serious is going on, and I never question Kyle Lowry. We know what kind of man he is, and so something's going on. He coming off their 6 win in 7 games, 104-92 at home versus the Blazers on Wednesday night. On Wednesday, that was our guy Derl's. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Play of the day, and we've got to go back. Jose and I got to go back, but I don't think you've missed one. And I don't care. I don't believe in like.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the day. The way everybody sounds, I'm telling you, man. But I'm more confident about the Lakers, and it has nothing to do with being a fan because we've already talked, Jimmy. Like you haven't seen me even play a lot of Lakers games, right? So I'm just looking for the spots.
No, I respect it. Hero will miss this game. He's in safety and health protocols with COVID. Lowry's status is uncertain. Bam is obviously back in the lineup. It's been 2 games since he's played since November 29th. He went for 20 and 11 against Portland, and he helped very much when Jimmy Butler got ejected 15 minutes in. Caleb Martin stepped up, Max was a Caleb Martin guy in college. Maxwell Smart, who was on the show earlier, he goes for 26, and he's also sounding very mature, saying all the right things. A bright future for Caleb Martin. Hawks coming off their second straight win, 134-122 at home versus the Timberwolves on Wednesday night. Very interesting that they're stepping up. Why are they stepping up? Trae Young's going off. So, Derl, I'm going to add a couple things after this, but the first question is, does Trae Young have to go for 37 points and 14 assists for these Hawks to win a basketball game? And Absolutely. It was great stuff with you taking the Timberwolves first quarter. I believe it was first quarter, but taking them early in that game. And I questioned it a little bit, but you took them early in that game. That was one of the fun things about our destruction of the Wednesday card was we were all on completely different plays except for that Spurs first quarter.
Right.
Atlanta stopped a 10-game home court losing streak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've won twice in a row. So here we go. If Kyle Viper says Lowry's out, Joe Yurkovich says Atlanta quick turnaround, double revenge. I have to think right now that Atlanta might be the spot. Please take it away, Heat Hawks.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, man. It is kind of weird. This one, I didn't make an official play, Jimmy, but I was looking at some things. They've already smacked the shit out of Atlanta twice. This is the 3rd time they've played, and they did that without Bam. Right? Bam didn't play in both of those games, if I'm correct. So if I got to look at this game, you've got Bam back, right? And Bam is going to be able to more than possibly put some heat on Okongwu, right? He should be able to put some heat on him. So then now you're in a position to where you have to have Trae play. So for your question, yes, Trae's going to have to put up some numbers and assists here in this game in order for them to win. And I just don't see it. This is a Heat game, bro. This is definitely a Heat game. The reason why I'm off of it is I give myself the 3 times a charm rule. They beat Milwaukee because the ghost of Dr. Martin Luther King came down to Georgia and blessed the Hawks. And they beat Milwaukee. We already know how Milwaukee plays away. They're like a doppelganger team, man. It's one bad Milwaukee team when they play away. And it's one really good Milwaukee team when they play home. And you saw that even with Milwaukee winning against Memphis. But Memphis was decimated. And then Atlanta beats Minnesota. But Minnesota played a heavy game the night before, and they had tired legs on a back-to-back. This is why we took them early and first. So if I'm looking at a team who has been literally decimated all year in Miami, and they're still like, well, are they first now? Miami's first in the East, right? They've got to be because either they're first or tied. But I mean, fucking A, man. Fucking A. And I'm telling you, Capella being questionable, right? If Atlanta wins this game, my partner said this earlier today, and it made a lot of sense. If Atlanta beats Miami, then there might be a trade for Capella. They might offload Capella, right? And just keep Okongwu. So there's a lot of moving parts here, but the 2 wins that Atlanta just had doesn't still convince me that they're a great team. It doesn't. They may be back. Bog actually didn't even participate in shoot around today. There hasn't even been Lowry there. We need to stop talking about who isn't available for Miami because they have not had a full team. They have not had a full team, and they are putting in work. So now you're giving me Butler back, and Butler, they turned around and won that game, and Butler was out in 15 minutes. You have Bam back. who could take care of the paint. It's a great rim defender, and you're giving me 1.5. So it's a game that I really want to watch, to be honest with you, because I want to see if Atlanta has really turned it around. Also, make sure you have Gallinari in and Bog in. So, yeah, it's if I'm looking at the game, then I'm going to play the Heat because they are the better team. But Atlanta has pulled these wins out, and I want to see what the issue is. I'll see in this game.
God, what a fascinating game. I think you probably just talked me off the Hawks. Capella, game time decision. So is Gallinari. Gallinari dealing with the Achilles.
Yeah.
I was initially on I haven't made any bets yet. I wanted to talk everything out. By the way, we have 3 minutes ago, we have the stake bet poll up on our chat. Can Derl take care of business? You can tell that Jose's drunk because he wrote Dell.
He's drunk already.
Can Derl win it? 80% right now on Derl for the.
Are you fucking serious? I thought I was getting
chat.
Roasted, man. I thought Jimmy, when I brought, I'm like, man, I'm gonna say. I didn't even want to say it, to be honest with you. I just wanted to pass the game because I'm like, if I'm gonna look more square, it's gonna be with this one. But honestly, this is a Lakers side.
Well, we got some very interesting stuff coming from the chat, and which is what the chat makes the show special. One, Dan Kelly answered your question. He says eliminating absolute threes. Since Christmas, the Clippers against the spread first quarter 5-3, second quarter they're 2-9. He says he's going to use that info for live betting.
Yeah, the first quarter play. Yeah.
And Joe Yurkovich says more defense playing in this game as opposed to the previous two. And let's just take a quick look at the total, and then we're going to move on here. We have nothing official on the spot yet, but I found that breakdown fascinating. This total at 219. I think I'm not logged in. Let me just log in again.
Yeah, it's 219 on the Clipper Philly game. It's 213. On the Miami Atlanta game, it's 219.5 is what I'm seeing as far as the total.
And in this Hawks game, we have 29% of the tickets and 77% of cash on the under. Wow, that's fascinating. What do you think of Joe Yurkovich? Is very sharp, dude. What do you think of him expecting more defense to be played? Because
hell fucking yeah, you goddamn right. It's funny that the line hasn't moved at all. I mean, so if the books are trying to set people right, they're probably going to tell you to blindly take the Heat, which is why Atlanta could win it. But at the same token, it's one of these things to where Atlanta has played 2 good games back to back. You got to make them the favorites at home. It's one of those things that I can't figure out. Me personally, I still like the Heat because of their whole body of work. They're missing players. So fucking what? So what, bro?
Wow. Very, very interesting breakdown. My Safari's not working. I have to use Chrome, so I'm not going to be logged in for the opening lines at Pinnacle, but we'll keep rolling. I find the idea that Atlanta's going to care more about this. And we know that there's no Hero and possibly no Lowry. So we know that there's going to be a guard advantage for the Hawks, but that's about the end of the advantages.
Does Trey play defense?
No, but will he have to as much against? I mean, like, let's go to the depth chart here. I mean, who's going to? We know that Duncan Robinson's all he's going to do is fire up threes. I mean, with Lowry out and Hero out, how much defense is he really going to have to play?
Hero was out last game, wasn't he? And then Jimmy went out. Jimmy went out 15 minutes into the game. I'll wait. Somebody give me the result of that game. And you trying to tell me that Atlanta is going to be the better team? I mean, it was Portland, so fine. But at the same token, you're probably, if it wasn't for these last 2 wins, and this is when maybe it's the recency bias, Atlanta would be in the same conversation as how bad of a team they are with Portland. So I that's why I'm not messing with this game at all, because there's too many moving parts. But fuck it. If you like the Hawks, take them. It's this game is going to come down to a basket. So be it.
Very, very, very. Oh God, is Sauce Castillo going to see some floor time? What the fuck are they going to do, man? I mean, we saw Caleb Martin take care of business. All right. Top Shelf Play says Atlanta could be heating up. It turns out says Jose's challenging me for a shot. We know that's not the case. He's drinking me. Look, I see him shaking his head in the background. We saw what happened last time. That went down. So let's move on. But let me ask you this: I think Joe Yurkovich has me interested in the under, but is Trae Young taking onus on pushing the Heat through so they're not going to give up pieces and they're going to make a move? Because the East is wide open right now. I mean,
it is. I really can't figure the team out because they haven't been healthy, right? But they are making moves, right? I was listening to the mismatch with Chris Vernon and Kevin O'Connor. And when they unloaded Cam Reddish, I believe Cam actually went to the front office and said, I want more playing time or a bigger role or get me out of here, right? So what do? They got him out of there because how are you going to give him a bigger role? So I think Atlanta still is a great team when they're very, very healthy. But I also think they need to make some moves of some sort to get a little better, because once you're saying that they're not healthy, they lose 11 games at home, So to be honest, I really can't figure out the organization. Either you're going to go with what you have or try to make some moves. Not very many moves you want to make, right? You just need to get these guys healthy. They just need to be healthy, bottom line. Cam is still young. He can get somewhere and develop. I believe he was behind Zion and RJ Barrett at Duke, right? So it's one of those things, honestly, to where the Hawks will be just fine. They just had some bad bouts of COVID, of injuries and things of that nature. The new offensive rule did hurt Trae. It seems like it's hurt him the most, but he's found a way to adjust. Remember, he was putting cats in jail, and then he would stop right in front of them, and then they would bump into him, and he would get the foul and go to the free throw line. He can't do that anymore, but he's made the adjustments. If you decided to commit to when he put a player in jail, the paint defender would come up, and if he decided to commit to taking on Trae because he'd go for the easy layup, he just lob it up to Collins or Capella, right? So he was really trapping people that way. He really can't do that now. You can't put players in jail. So Trae has to shoot those threes. He's not going to give any defense, though. Miami Heat doesn't have to cheat, really, with Trae, because you got Jimmy Butler who can play him. You got PJ Tucker. If he needs to come out the forward position, you really can't switch on him, right? PJ Tucker's still a great defender. And then you got Bam defending the paint. So I just don't see that there's really any advantage for Atlanta here. And you add into the fact that Gallinari and Bog and Capella might not go tonight. Just chill, pause on it right now. But what scares you, then we'll go into the next game. I do apologize for talking more about this game. What does scare you is the line, right, Jimmy? The lines tell you a fucking story, bro. They tell you a story. So for this to be an obvious game for the Heat and you don't see the line moving at all, it's like, okay, maybe stay off or just go with the Atlanta Hawks.
Or take the under.
I don't do totals like that. I wish I was really good at. By next year, I'm going to commit, Jimmy, to being good at totals. There's a science to it, though.
It's a fickle whore. Let's move on to the next spot here. We have a very captivating game. One that I took a good look at and was like, do I pull the trigger? And the market has not moved a cent at my book here. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Portland Trailblazers 18-26, 4-15 on the road. Boston Celtics 23-23, 15-9 at home. TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Portland 3-2 over their past 5, 7th in pace at 100.2 possessions a game. Yeah. Boston on the other side 3-2, same record, but 28th in pace, 95.10 possessions a game.
Yeah,
this should be a spot where the Celtics are dangerous. When I say it hasn't moved at Bet365, which is what my local uses, but it has moved to Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened up Boston -7.5, -101. They're now -8 at -112. This total has gone from 213 to 212 at Pinnacle, but there are still a couple books hanging 213s. We go over to where the cash lies in this spot. 62% of the tickets are on the Celtics and 82% of the cash. And that makes sense to me. We'll go into why that is. 29% of tickets are on the under, so public on the over, but 58% of cash is on the under as well. Portland had both teams just had modest 2-game winning streak snapped.
Yeah.
Portland 104-92. That was Derl's I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is play of the day. This is the 5th game of a 6-game road trip. And that was my first thought was it's twofold. And the start of it was that this starts getting tiring after a while. And Portland's won 4 of its last 6 games.
Yeah.
faded badly in the fourth quarter against the Heat. Simons continues to impress and is making me some money in the NBA Top Shot world. Some money, a few $100. 27 points, 7 assists. CJ McCollum goes for 24 in his second game following being gone for 6 weeks with the lung injury. Nurkic goes for he's averaged over the last 3 games 20.7 points and 16.7 rebounds. He's stepping up clearly. Celtics had their 2-game winning streak snapped to 111-102 loss at home versus the Hornets. This is their final game of a 4-game homestand.
Yeah.
They are expecting both Marcus Smart and Robert Williams back in the lineup. Smart's missed 5 games with the thigh injury and then the COVID issues. Robert Williams is going to be back after missing 2 games due to the birth of his son. Schroeder goes for 24.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
And that's, he's averaging 21 points over his past 3 games, which is, 5 points clear of what he's done this year. Take it away, Portland Celtics. Can't wait to hear the breakdown.
So this is interesting. Besides 1 game in the last 5, Portland has covered the first quarter spread. They have covered the first quarter spread. If you look at their body of work, they are actually better scorers in the first quarter than Boston. They are better scorers. Boston has averaged 1 more point in the last 3. I'm making it official here. Where I think the money is, honestly, is Portland first quarter. Against Miami, Portland 26-23. Against Orlando, obviously, Portland 22-17. Against Washington, Portland 29-24. Against Denver, their only loss, that score, Denver put up a 40-burger, 41-28. Right? And then on their 5th game against Brooklyn, mind you, Brooklyn. Now we're just getting CJ back, right? We've had Anthony Simons. And if I'm right, there was one of these games where Anthony didn't even play because he had his own issues. Denver, 41-point game that they put against them. Brooklyn, man, you look at Brooklyn, bro. They put up 33 points to Brooklyn's 26. And remember, Brooklyn is top 3 in the league in first half scoring. So they may have a shabby first quarter, but they probably get it back in second quarter. Boston is obviously the side. To play. I know this line, I saw 7.5. Right? I saw 7.5. You bring Marcus Smart back, that just slows down the tempo, but it doesn't stop Portland from scoring, really. Right? The more you see Anthony Simons play in this commanding role, the more comfortable he looks. Right? This is Portland drafted him. Right? Anthony Simons was drafted by Portland. People actually don't like the fact that CJ came in there and CJ kind of fucked up the rhythm, tossing up like a quick 3-pointer. But CJ has to establish that he's the alpha there, right? Even though there might be a lot of respect going to Anthony and the body of work that he's putting in. I like it. Give it to me. I already took it. Portland first quarter +2 against Boston. I do believe that they can either win this outright in the first quarter or at least cover that too. Just the average points that they're making, I like Portland first quarter +2. They're neck and neck. So now if you're going to make them dogs, this is a game that I do believe that they can get up for.
Of course. This makes so much sense. By the way, I can get you a 2.5 with very low vig -105 at circa. I think that the Blazers on the 5th game of a 6-game road trip, at times you worry about a team on the 6th game of a 6-game road trip. Now I'm thinking of Dan Kelly immediately because I don't have the statistics to back that statement up, so I probably shouldn't have said it. But you think that, I'm going home, I gotta go, all the what happens when you have to go home and take care of all your shit? You've been gone for a couple weeks, but game 5 of a 6-game road trip, you're probably locked in. You care about playing with Celtics. I like that look. I also think that could be some Celtics being discombobulated with Smart returning, with Williams returning. I know they're going to help the team in the long run, but you talked about the pace being slowed down. I like the look.
To Michael O'Brien, not mad that he was putting up quick shots, but just that shot that he had took immediately coming into the game right off the start. Anthony Simons is a different story. He's pretty much your main and only scorer. So he had to take the lead role. But I think the more that he plays, Michael, I do believe you start to see a greater chemistry with him and CJ. And so it's one of those games to where, I mean, New Orleans, bro. New Orleans put up 28 points in the first quarter against their 17 points in Boston 17. So Portland being a good team as of late, not good team, but a better team as of late as far as their scoring. I mean, they lost to Miami, but they beat Orlando and Washington and Brooklyn and Sacramento. So it's just one of those things to where I think the more they play, the more cohesive they get. And you could probably at least see a good first quarter before you see it all go to shit.
I think it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense here. T-Mac, yes. See, I don't give a fuck what the spread is. Play of the day is a new bet, and it's rolling, and we're creating merch around it. I love it. This is the first time I've seen Dan Kelly's name on our graphic. I think we got to ditch the we don't need the question marks and the exclamation marks. I just want
CJ is
Dan
better.
Kelly. I want Dan Kelly. But look at that, Dan Kelly on the screen and Worthy. We're going to get a graphic for you here in a second. Okay, let's keep rolling here.
Yeah.
I think both the under
CJ
and the first
is
quarter
better, Michael. I'm not saying that. So I'm trying to be more interactive. I don't want to talk over you. But yeah,
No,
CJ
might.
is fucking better, bro. I mean, that's obvious. It's
Yeah. I mean, look, he's a all-star.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year, but okay. We move on to 8 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Raptors 21-21, 9-10 on the road at Washington Wizards 23-22, 13-9 at home. We're at Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. Toronto 1-4 over the past 5, 92.3 possessions a game, good for last in the NBA. Washington, and we're playing nobody. You got 7 players going, 6 mostly. So the pace is slowed down. Washington 3-2 over their past 5, 9th in pace at 98.90 possessions a game. Let's start with the market here. Washington opening up as 1.5 point favorites. Let's move to 1 at some books. This total's gone from 217.5 to 218.5.
Yeah.
Clearly, the 6-game winning streak that's being followed now by losing 4 or 5, but the 6-game winning streak and only being 3.5 point dogs in Dallas. The market is respecting this Toronto Raptors basketball team. Let's move They are, without a doubt. Let's move to the cash flow in this spot. We have just 4,110 tickets in. No surprise here that in the lone game with a team not from America, it's got the lowest betting. 50-50 with the tickets, but 88% of the cash is on the Wizards. Then from a total perspective, 71% of tickets on the over, 85% of cash on the over. And by the way, the poll is done, 86 votes. 77% think that Derl is going to win the stake bet. 77%,
wow.
Just 22%.
I like my shit medium rare. Make that shit bloody as fucking possible.
Well, bloody as possible is rare. And that's how I do this.
No. Okay, I take that back. I need to see a little bit of brown.
Not me. Give me the fucking. All right, let's go. So the Raptors coming off that tough 102-98 loss at Dallas on Wednesday night, 104-99 loss to the Miami Heat on Monday. So in both those games, 7 players have seen the floor. Van Fleet, Anunoby, Siakam are all playing over 40 minutes. Feels like that's what you do come playoff time, but we're doing it here, in the second quarter of the season. So it's their 5th game in 8 days, and we're playing these guys so much. No Gary Trent, no Kem Birch. Birch with the broken nose, Trent with the ankle injury. Wizards are 3-2, 3 games remaining on their 8-game homestand. Wizards coming off their second loss, 3 games, 119-118 at home versus the Nets. Beal 23-9, Montrezl Harrell and Rui Hachimura each go for 14 off the bench. To me, Derl, the Raptors are very vulnerable here.
Yes.
How are they not exhausted? How is Washington not in the perfect spot at home? Take it away.
I do, man. I agree. It's funny that this line is starting to go toward the Raptors, right? And you said that the money is on the Wizards, and this number is also going the opposite way.
And spreadsheet play of the day just locked in by Ron Crawford on the Raptors. So keep rolling.
On the Raptors. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's Raptors or nothing, right? Now, I'm going to do this, bro. 3 strikes and you're out, right? But I had to look at the numbers better. I'm going to go back to the well on Pascal Siakam's assists. I am. I'm going to go back onto the well. And this is the reason why. That was my one loss on the show. But what I wanted to do was gauge the number here. Now, the first thing we looked at, talking to a buddy of mine, is the potential assists that Pascal Siakam would have had last game, and that was against Dallas. He had potential assists, and I don't know how they gauge this, but maybe it's if the player misses the basket, or if he dishes it out and he was open. I don't know how the stat is gauged, Jimmy, but He was on pace to have 15 assists. I knew by the first half of that game, I'm like, okay, here we go again. They're not shooting well. It was that game alone, I believe. Let's see, looking at their stats. Yeah, they shot 38% from the field, 25% from the perimeter. I do not think that you're going to have them shoot that bad against Washington. This should be a little faster game at that. It's not going to be slow like Dallas, right? And I do believe that where the look is again is Pascal Siakam's over 5 assists. And now that line is at minus 106. Both times that I bet them, it was plus money. And even listen to JPZ, like I try to process as much information as possible. JPZ won't touch a prop if it's plus money, right? Or if it's minus money at that. And I think it was like minus 149. One time I took Pascal Siakam's props at 5.5. It was minus way juiced to the over, minus 149. The next time in which I lost Pascal's props, that was plus 120 something, plus 125. Yeah. On your show, when I lost again, I believe it was plus money. Now we're back into the minus vig. I do like Pascal Siakam's assists here. I do believe Toronto is the right side, but I just can't touch them because they have A, played a lot of games and a lot of minutes, and B, Washington is technically healthy at this point, right? They are healthy. They've got their bigs. They've got their players. They are healthy. Their injury report is just pretty much the guys who have been injured or out, for whatever reason, but they're healthy. So I do like Pascal Siakam's assists here. I am going to bet it on the show. It's over 5.5 I got it at minus 106. If you got a better number, that's fine. But I do believe he hits it. Now, in saying all that, I said in the last show that if he didn't hit it, I was off of it. I lied. Okay. I lied. 3 strikes, you're out. If he don't do it for me today, I'm telling the truth. This time I will be off Pascal's assist as far as making them official plays. But I do believe you're in a good position to do it today. Get it done. If you like Toronto, take them because they are a really good system team. But nothing I want involved in the sides at all.
So I watch this team close. And from a situational standpoint, this is when I want to fade them. They're expending all this energy. They're traveling across America with COVID. They're playing basically 6 guys, using 7, missing Trent and Kem Birch, whom I love. If they get into any foul trouble, they're in trouble. You have a Washington, D.C. team in the 6th game of an 8-game homestand. That's what I love so much. Look, if this was a 7-game series in the playoffs, the Raptors will beat the Wizards. But here, situationally, now I don't want to go against you. I don't want to go against Ron Crawford. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
I can't touch the side, man, because like I said, Washington is healthy. But the line has gone down, bro. That was at 1.5. You could have seen some 2 somewhere to Washington. Could this game get to a pick'em? Like, bro, I mean, Toronto is that team. But first off, somebody go give fucking Precious Achiuwa a goddamn playbook because he is just fucking shit up. Right? So, but the Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam connection is real. You just need Fred VanVleet to make those fucking shots. And he's not doing it. So if you don't like them, then you're telling me that they're going to have back-to-back shooting nights. And they had a really bad shooting night against Dallas. I don't think that happens again.
All right. I'm going to need more time here. Let's get you the Siakam prop. You know what? I'm sorry. I was really in deep thinking about this spot here. I'm going to get you
what did you think about the props for his assists? Give me your opinion on that.
You need the team to hit 40 over plus 45% from the field. You need them to hit over 32% from 3, over 33% from 3. You are right when you said when you lose this prop, it's because the team's not hitting outside shots. VanVleet is 3rd in the NBA with 3-point attempts a game. You need VanVleet to be hitting those buckets.
Yeah,
I think the bet makes sense, and I also think that this is the type of bet that you have to keep betting unfortunately.
Absolutely. Maybe
So-
that's what it is also. Maybe that's what it is, to where win or lose, of course, if you win, you're going to bet at Jay. But even if you lose, you just know he's going to turn it around. And he does do that as well.
And
You
you're
haven't
gonna-
seen him had back-to-back low assists. If
And
he has a
you're
low
gonna-
assist game,
The idea is that it's going to hit over 50% of the time.
yeah.
The idea is going to hit over 58% of the time. You got to figure
You're
out
making-
your number and then probably keep attacking it. So I get it. Dan Kelly says, Jimmy, just for your information on Portland, Boston sorting week of the season, which is crushing lately, and other key variables, 4th and 5th game of the trip, but not last. Road team 3-0 straight up, all 3 dogs of 6 or more.
So then that would confirm what I was saying.
Yeah. And you're on that first quarter, which I found appealing. I also like the under there. And I'm interested in Washington here. So let's keep rolling.
Yeah.
Let's keep rolling. So I'm going to get you the Siakam assist prop.
I
I'm
hear
gonna
you,
take
Jay
a couple
Pizzy.
bucks.
I mean, I wouldn't do it. It's one of those things, man. Like Jimmy said, I'm probably Jay Pizzy. I'm probably trapped at this point because I am making money in the long run, right? But I
Mhm.
guess just for pick's sake, shit, I'm losing. That was my only loss. Fuck it. I would have swept the board. That was my only
Yeah, you
loss.
would have swept the
I just
board.
got.
Yeah.
I would have. So I'm gonna go back to it.
All right, and I will line shop for you. Let's move on. 8 p.m. Eastern. Chicago Bulls 28-15, 12-9 on the road at Milwaukee Bucks 28-19, 15-18 at home. Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Chicago 1-4 over their past 5, 16th in pace at 97.50 possessions a game, while Milwaukee 2-3, second in pace at 102.60 possessions a game. Both Nutflush, Alan and I have been watching the Milwaukee Bucks closely as we've been succeeding capping them over the last little while. Another thing about us staying away from the minefield on Wednesday, it's one thing to stay and not get hurt. It's another thing to take the other side, which I wasn't able to do in that Chicago-Cleveland game,
Yeah.
even though we were very wise to respect the market and not take Cleveland, but we weren't wise enough to take the other side, which we will talk about throughout the year. Bulls snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 117-104 win at home versus the Cavs on Wednesday night. Let's see what we're dealing with from a market perspective. We got Cleveland we got Chicago opening up as 9.5-point dogs, now 10.5 at Pinnacle, 11 at Bodog. The total is at 227 and a half. Look, I initially thought about the Bucks, but then I got these flashbacks of the Bucks stepping up against good teams. And I don't count the Bulls as one of them right now. I don't know. The Bulls are not instilling fear in anybody right now. I know if you just look at their 28-15 record, you would say that they are, but they're not playing good basketball because they don't have Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine in the lineup.
So what happened at Cleveland, Jay? What happened with that?
Well, that is a very, very difficult question to answer.
Okay.
And the only way I answer it from just a keeping things clean standpoint is the market. Why did the Pacers beat the Lakers? The market was telling us that the Cavs were fool's gold in that spot. And I don't want to just stop the actual capping and say, look, the market told us that.
Right.
But that was the first and foremost thing, was the market was telling us that the Cavs were fool's gold from an actual edge laden standpoint. I don't know exactly why the Cavs got beaten up, and maybe you can touch on it because I can't answer that. But let me just finish setting the table. Bucks snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 126-114 loss at home to Memphis on Wednesday night. They're getting a ton of production out of Antetokounmpo and Middleton. They're combining for 57.2 points, 17.3 boards, 13.7 assists. Drew Holiday came back after missing 6 games with an ankle injury. He goes for 9, 5, and 4, just 22 minutes. That's going to increase. And Antetokounmpo goes for 13 and 15 and 7. Middleton 27, 7 and 7. DeRozan led all scorers in the big win over the Cavs. Vooch goes for 24 and 12. Ayo goes for 18. Kobe White goes for 16. Caruso comes back as well. That's probably a piece of the puzzle. But the Bucks stepped up against Memphis because they had to.
They had to.
They
but they were also without Bane and Slow-Mo, right? So
So and Nutflush Allen says I was pretty clear on telling you on the letdown spot in the Cavs.
He was. Yeah, he was. He was. That's why I didn't take him full game. We talked about this, Jay.
Yeah.
We did not step on Cleveland full game at all. Not on the show at all. First quarter was the look, but that's another thing. After first quarter, the Bulls had that game. They had that game first half and obviously won the game. So I'll tell you this. I don't know if you're done setting that up.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, take it away.
It's weird, Jay. It's very weird to me because, like I said earlier, Milwaukee, in my opinion, has two teams. They have a doppelganger somewhere because how they play away is dramatically different than how they play at home. Right. So I think there's two Giannis's. I think there's two Holidays. I think there's two fucking Middletons. I swear to God, I think there's two Grayson Allens. It's just not the same team. You lose to Atlanta away, but then you beat Memphis. But how much of a win was it a win? Right. When you have Bane that's out, and then when you have Slow-Mo who's out, obviously Dylan Brooks hasn't been there. But then you have Chicago Bulls turn around and beat Cleveland. And in my opinion, Cleveland's probably one of the best, bigger teams, right? So to make this quick and simple, I'm afraid of this game. If you liked Milwaukee and didn't take them earlier, then you've already missed the value, right? This line was lower than what it is now. This line was either 8.5 or 9. So me personally, I'm just telling you now, Jay, the Bulls, to me, should lose this game, but at the same token, what they just did to Cleveland, it doesn't really count them out. It doesn't count them out. But Milwaukee's at home. So because I don't know, and because I'm asking more questions and creating more scenarios, me personally, I just couldn't play it at all. So if you like Chicago, maybe start taking them now before the line drops a little. I think once the public starts slamming this, you might see the line drop a little bit. But in my opinion, this should be a Milwaukee game.
Well, I cashed first quarter, first half, and first half team total over. And I do not want to go back to the well in this spot.
Yeah.
Jones says Milwaukee fat and happy this season. They're on and off gas all year till the playoffs. If this is 11, I mean, at what point do I want to back the Bulls? I'm saying pretty soon now.
I mean, they're scrappy, man. They're scrappy, but sheesh, you still don't have your peoples, bro. You don't.
Yeah.
And you got to be cautious of that. I mean, DeMar DeRozan's probably one of the better or best perimeter, not, outside shooters within the three, but how much are you asking him to do? It's just too many moving parts, man. I would stay off the game, period. I don't have a play in this game at all.
There's more tickets calculated on this game than any other game on the card. 7,817 at this point. 46% of the tickets, 44% of cash on the Bulls, so it's very tight there. Then you have 51% of the tickets, 89% of cash on the under. A lot of cash coming in on the under, and we've seen this total go from not move at all. A couple books have moved it up a half point.
Weird.
To 228.
Yeah, very weird. Why I started drinking early. I'm telling you, Jay, like the games are going to be good games, but the lines make no fucking sense today. But you have to respect them to a certain degree, or you're just saying you're better than all the originators and algorithms that they have out there. And so I looked, I'm like, man, fuck this shit.
Rant says the under cashes. Joe Yeager says the screams Bucks first half to me. They've dominated weaker teams at home first half. You know what, Joe? Again, this is another spot where I don't have the stats to back this up, but it's the best teams that the Bucks have destroyed at home.
Right.
It's when the Warriors come in. It's when the Grizzlies come in. That's when I want to back the Buccaneers against the elite teams. But I can't back that up with facts. Let's keep moving on. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Brooklyn Nets 28-16, 16-5 on the road at San Antonio Spurs, 17-28, 9-13 at home. I want the Spurs first half, but first quarter wasn't available to me about an hour before showtime, and maybe even 30 minutes before showtime. It still wasn't available. And I was like, you know what? I guess this is going to move to a pick'em, but every cent counts, and I shouldn't be lazy about that. But I was like, you know what? Let's just let it go and talk it out. But I want the Spurs in this spot. I want the Spurs on this homestand. I've been saying it throughout the homestand, and I cashed nicely only on first quarter, first half, but I cashed nicely last out against Oklahoma City Thunder. Brooklyn 3-2 over the past 5, 14th in pace at 98.10 possessions game. Spurs 2-3, 8th in pace at 99.40 possessions game. Both teams have won 2 of their last 3. That's coming off an 119-118 road win at Washington on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Irving goes for 30 in 37 minutes. LaMarcus Aldridge, 27 points off the bench. They've only won 5 of their past 12. Harden goes for 18. Mills goes for 17. Day'Ron Sharp, but still giving quality bench time to this squad. Spurs coming off a 118-96 win at home over the Thunder on Wednesday night. Murray, DeWanta goes for 23, 14, and 10. Triple-double, 8th of the year. And that was just in 3 quarters. Dougie McBuckets goes for 20. Vassell goes for 19. Johnson, Pluggle go for 13 apiece. Derek White goes for 11. Double-figure scoring from each of their starters for the second straight game. 111 of 18 with this starting lineup of Murray, McDermott, Portal, White, and Johnson. Take it away here, Derl. Nets Spurs.
I hated this. This was one of the games where if there was any game that made me start drinking this morning, it was this game. Because I do not understand this line. I don't understand the line at all. I was like, yo, is somebody going to be out? Are we probably set up for Kyrie to possibly not play? I mean, right now, if I'm right, Brooklyn has the best road record in the Eastern Conference. They might even have the best road record in the NBA. Unless the Suns just topped them, right? So why is this line gone down? Why is it gone down? I took this line early at -2.5. And I don't know if it was just a trap. I don't know if it's one of those things to where the books are begging you to take Brooklyn because of the line being so short and the public really jumps on it and says, yo, I'm taking Brooklyn at -2.5. Oh, that's automatic, right? This one I overthought. And I'm like, let me open up my bottle of wine. This should be an obvious smash for Brooklyn here. It should be. It should be. If anything, you just follow the same routine. Spurs should be able to get shit done in the first quarter. Brooklyn Nets will come back in the second quarter and make it, if anything, maybe even, right? But Brooklyn Nets is still a good first half scoring team. I keep saying this ad nauseum. They're top 3, right? Or maybe even top 2 if they hadn't just been toppled by, I forget who it is, Denver or Charlotte, one of those. But they are really still a good first half team as far as total points scored. So I took Brooklyn -2.5 first earlier today, and I made that official on my show. I don't want to do it here because I'm so mad at this fucking line. I'm so mad at this line here. So if you're going to look at If you're going to look at a play, honestly, me personally, it's Brooklyn Nets. Go look at the Nets and just play them because you're basically telling them to win by a bucket, right? But why this line is so short, I don't know. I wouldn't want to give, Brooklyn Nets -1 just seems automatic, man. But bro, San Antonio Spurs might win this game, but I mean, it's their homestand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on? What is going on with this fucking line that one of the best road teams is barely, it's -1. I think I just saw someone said that they're dogs now. So
yeah, they're dogs.
I played the game earlier, but I don't want to give that out as an official play. This is probably one that I'm gonna have to lick my wounds on, just looking at how this game is turning around.
Well, the Sharps seem to be on Brooklyn. 58% of the tickets, 74% of the cash, or at least the big bets are on Brooklyn. I want the Spurs early, but a very, very good point that I didn't really consider is THC is RZA. And when I've ridden with him, when our action correlates, we've succeeded with great measure. He says, I want to take the Spurs also, but hard to fade the Nets in this spot with Mills and Aldridge coming back home and Kyrie rounding in the form. I didn't think of Mills and Aldridge coming back home.
Bro. God damn. I see, but the line moving doesn't make sense. I don't even want to harp on it too much. For the record, I've already taken Brooklyn. I've made them an official pick on another show that I do. I got them at -2.5. If you want to, the better side seems obviously like it's Brooklyn, but y'all do the math, figure out why this line is moving the way it is, not unless there's a late scratch, maybe live bet this game. I don't know, but it's not something I can make official on this show, on this platform. I just feel, goddamn, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. I mean, you just beat OKC. Come on, it's OKC, bro. Mm-hmm. It's OKC. There should be no recency bias there. You just beat OKC by the 6.5 spread. I don't give a fucking fuck that. It's still Brooklyn or nothing. Just not going to make that official.
I was going to move on the Spurs first quarter, first half, and I'm hesitant now after talking it out. It was a play I wanted to make. We'll talk about it, or at least I'll be thinking about it all day. Let's move on. 9 p.m. Eastern. Memphis Grizzlies 31-16, 14-7 on the road. Denver Nuggets 23-20, 12-8 at home. We come to the number 2 NBA spreadsheet play today. Ron Crawford is on Memphis plus 3.5. We're at Baller in Denver, Colorado. Memphis 3-2 over their past 5, first in pace, 103.9 possessions a game, while Denver's 3-2, 26th in pace at 96.5 at 9 possessions a game. It was a great joy to fade Memphis in the last game, but they got their shit pushed in, and they're not going to be happy.
Their shit pushed in.
They're not going to be happy. And I still know that this team has a lot of heart. Denver minus 3.5 across. Actually, not across the board. Bet365 moved it to 4. This total shooting up, opening up at 220, now 224 to 224 and a half. We take a look at where the cash lies. 5,888 tickets in. 52% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the Grizzlies. So Grizzlies being backed here. 65% of tickets, 89% of cash on the over. Grizzlies coming off their second loss, 3 games, 126-114 in Milwaukee on Wednesday. 3rd in the Western Conference, and they've dropped 2 of their last 3, but still being very, very good this year.
Yeah.
They Nuggets coming off their 3rd win in 4 games, 130-128 at home versus the Clippers. And this is a really tricky spot. I can't wait to hear you break this down. We know Ron is on it with spreadsheet play today number 2. Take it away, Derl. Grizzlies Nuggets.
Yeah, so Ron has got it. I am on Memphis Grizzlies plus 3.5. This is a game that I played official and made official earlier. I'm sticking by that play. This is one of those games too where I believe that if you got just a little bit of lunch pail money, put it on the money line. Memphis is going to win this game outright. They are going to win this game outright. Now, you're talking about actions and rotations that are ran, and I feel that if we're going to have the same narrative about this team being better without Durant, right, when they were winning games without Durant, then you can't make that. You can't say that this team isn't going to be good because they don't have Bane there, right? They've already beat this team twice. They've beat Denver twice, and now you're making them dogs because you don't have Slow-Mo and Bane there. Last game that they played, Bane gave you only 11 points. That was November 3rd. November 4th or 1st, which is pretty much like that home and home. That game, Bane gave you 11 on the 1st, I'm sorry. And then the game on the 3rd that they played, Bane gave you, let's see, 16. So it wasn't like he was the main baller balling out. Jaren Jackson had more points than him, right? John Morant had 18 points. So this is one of these things, in my opinion, to where Memphis is already familiar enough with the Denver Nuggets to know how they plays, right? And you're just really taking out the perimeter defender and the wing defender in Kyle Anderson. He has pretty good vision too. He's going to give you a couple of boards, but Bane is also a great defender that can slow the ball down. But Denver plays slow as is. You give, and the head coach is Taylor Jenkins, right? I always get that mixed up. It's Jenkins, right? Mm-hmm. You give him time to game plan and have a good scouting report on how to beat this team. And so, in my opinion, I believe that the Grizzlies can make this a trifecta in beating them and beat them again. Memphis was +1 on the last one, on the 3rd, and then the one before that, they were -1.5. So this is one of these things to where I do believe that they have their number. Memphis Grizzlies +3.5, to me, they could win this game. Now that they had more time to realize that they don't have Kyle this game, they don't have Desmond, you make your adjustments, and then you do the work. So this is a game that I've made official. It's an official play for me. Memphis Grizzlies +3.5.
It's available at -105. It's gone down to 3 at circa. I think this makes sense. I think it makes sense that they're going to bounce back here against the Nuggets team that is feeling better about themselves. It's bringing in new players. I think it makes sense. By the way,
Denver lost to Utah, bro. That's all you got to hear. They lost to fucking Utah.
Can anybody else, line chop for us for the Siakam assists? We have 5.5 at -105. I imagine we can beat that. I don't want FanDuel up. I'll bring FanDuel up, but if anybody can find a nice line for us for Derl for the Siakam assists, I think I'm going to roll with you on that. It makes a ton of sense to me. Gerald Jones saying NFL best bet, LA Rams +3. All right, let's keep rolling here. We have 2 games left on this card. Next up, Detroit Pistons 11-33, 4-19 on the road at Utah Jazz, 29-16, 14-9 home. We're at Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City, Utah. Denver 2-3 over their past 5, 15th in pace at 97.60 possessions a game, while Utah 1-4, 22nd in pace at 96.90 possessions a game. Detroit bounced back in a big way after the debacle in San Francisco. Came back, put up 133 points against Sacramento, won that game outright. Utah opening up at minus 13.5 is now at minus 14.5 at Pinnacle. They did not look good in that loss to the Houston Rockets. I was lucky to catch that first half over.
Yeah,
I did not cash the full game over. Lost that by 3.5 points. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. Cash flow wise, we have 5,787 tickets in, 55% of the tickets, 69% of cash on the Jazz. We've seen it moving to 13.5 to 14.5. And then you have 68% of the tickets on the under, but just 58% of cash. Take it away here, Derl. Pistons Jazz.
I don't give a fucking shit about this game. Next game.
You know what? We've spent extra time on some games.
I know.
No, we can move on.
I don't get. Yeah, bro. Please. Fuck Detroit. And I mean, this line shot the fuck up, right? This line was. Let me look at the line movement on this as far as last night. Yeah, you did have some 13s. So I don't know. I don't give a shit about this game. I don't. I'm not playing it. I don't know what's going on with the Jazz. Should come out here and smack them. The line moving says so, but no one's going to jump on a line this fucking large with the Jazz after what they did with Houston. I'm straight on that, man. We can go to the next game.
It's a very tough spread at 14.5.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell not going to be in the lineup again. I wish the Pistons sucked last game because then I would back them here. But they were great last game. Lamont Williams in the house. Great to see you. Cash Money talking about FanDuel having a Siakam over 5 assists and the Raptors win at plus 200.
No, I can't do that. Not the win, man. I mean, fuck.
No,
you've seen how the Wizards play when they're healthy, and they're fully healthy at this point. And they've got
Michigan Mel did find you at though plus 100. Took the vig away. Thank you, Michigan Mel. That's at Bet Rivers. Respect, Mel, my guy. All right, final game on our card, and it's been.
I don't like that, bro. It's plus 100 now. I mean, fuck.
No, that's every time okay. It's minus 105 everywhere.
Okay.
Minus 105 everywhere. So
he just found the
best line.
Okay.
But you know what? Showing up at 9 a.m. with a glass of grape is inspiring. It's fucking inspiring, man. Houston Rockets 14-32, 7-19 on the road at Golden State Warriors, 32-12, 19-3 home. When my girl goes, "You stink like booze," I'll say I was inspired by Daryl Rice.
Just show her the card tomorrow, right? When we win this motherfucker.
So, in my head, I'll be like, "You shut the fuck up." But I'll just say I was inspired by Derl Rice. Warriors 32-12, 19-3 at home. Chase Center, San Francisco, California. Houston 3-2 over their past 5. Fastest pace in the league, 103.90 possessions a game. Golden State Warriors 2-3, 6th in pace, 100.70 possessions a game. Rockets coming off their second win in a row, 3rd in 4 games, 116-111 at Utah on Wednesday night. Warriors on the second half of back-to-back after losing badly, 121. I mean, only by 4 in overtime, but shockingly as giant favorites. Now we cashed that first half team total over.
We did,
pretty
or you did,
by 3.5 points in overtime at home versus the Pacers. So it was surprising. So every time the Warriors have been embarrassed, I've often made mistakes thinking that this is what we're going to get from this basketball team, and then they just destroy and it cost me money. So, but my first instinct was that Houston can stay within double digits here. This total has not moved from 228. I thought it had dropped to 227.5 at some books. It is not. It's moving towards the over. Nutflush and I talked about a month and a half ago about how they take these team total overs against the Rockets, and I was in the throes of losing in basketball, not betting very much, but he made tons of bank off of it. Clearly, the books have adjusted, but I was surprised to see this total at 228 when these teams are both playing with pace and the Warriors just lost. I thought, well, is there a chance that maybe Steph doesn't play the second half of a back-to-back because he was dealing with a hand injury a few days ago? But I think this total is pretty low for these two teams. But 36% of tickets are on the under, so the public liking the over, and 79% of cash on the under, which definitely throws me to want to pause. Rant saying under looks good. Golden State Warriors play defense, and he says the Golden State Warriors don't look good right now. PNC's Rizza says Warriors first half, but total opening at 228 is high for a Warriors game. Take it away here. Last game on the card, Derl, Rockets, Warriors.
Yeah, so while the Warriors were playing, even before the game started, this game was already minus 12, right? And that was actually with the news. I believe, if I'm right, I had seen news that Clay was playing this game, but resting. He was playing that game yesterday, but resting this game tomorrow. And then when that news came out, it dropped to 10.5. And that line's pretty much been there. I don't know if a lot of people are going to get to this game. I to be honest with you, I'm surprised it didn't drop even more once they lost an overtime game to Indy, right? So people are really not trusting the Rockets. They're really not trusting the Rockets. Wiggins was very streaky. I mean, he's a streaky shooter. He didn't shoot good yesterday. Does he repeat the same thing? I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State does tonight what Indy did yesterday, right? Indy was off a back-to-back. They had no players in at that, and you saw what they did with Golden State. Can Golden State do that to the Rockets? I do believe so. If you're going to take the Rockets, I would say take them early. Take the Rockets early, and then just know that Golden State comes alive third quarter, right? And then just finishes you off in the end of the second half. So this is a game, in my opinion, to where I didn't play anything in this game. It's too many moving parts. You still probably could see Steph leave this game or not play a lot, especially if they're up by a lot. So will the Warriors lose 2 games in a row, especially now that you've got Memphis right behind them? You have the Suns winning the game that probably a lot of people said they shouldn't have beat Dallas yesterday. You still want to kind of keep it close coming into this All-Star break here in the next couple of weeks, right? You don't have Clay here. I do believe the Warriors can just smack the shit out of Houston. I do believe this game can go over as well. But it's no action I want in this game.
Nutflush Allen says Warriors team total at 119 is a little fishy looking to Rockets.
That's
only
fishy, bro. That's fishy. It's fishy. I had to jump off of team totals because I thought I had like a good angle and a good look at it. But honestly, man, these team totals get kind of tricky. I think the books get sharp with those as far as putting the line where it is. So yeah, no action for me here. But if I have a lean, it's definitely Golden State. It's a bounce back game and they could win it.
Well, let's review NBA action again. Derl coming off a 5-1 day here on the show, and he is sitting overall on the show 29-25, 53.7% plus 2.29 units with an ROI plus 4.24% and an average line of minus 106. Let's see what Joe's saying. He's saying Warriors first half combined score 108. Rockets combined score 114 first half average. If I was going to move on a total, I would prefer first half, but then I realized why I was thinking that is just because of the recency bias of cashing the first half and not the full game, because our subconscious is playing fucking tricks on you all the time. Yeah, man. When I was doing stand-up for a living, like, you know, and auditioning for fucking film and TV, there's subconscious telling you, you know, you're not good enough, you're not funny, you don't have this shit memorized, you just all the negative shit. And it's different with capping, but the recency bias, the vividness bias, is all this shit the subconscious trying to fuck with you. Let's break down what is official in NBA here. We have the first NBA spreadsheet play today for Ron Crawford is the Raptors. The second is the Grizzlies. We have Astute Chaos on Miami, Atlanta, first half over 112.5. Toronto, Washington, first half over 112.5. Astute Chaos on the first half over with Toronto, Washington. Schnizzle on the full game over. Wow. Then Astute Chaos is on Chicago, Milwaukee, first half under 109.5. And that's at plus money. With Memphis, Denver, first half over 109.5.
Appreciate you,
and Schnizzle has Grizz Nugs over 221. Derl's first bet on the show here today, official pick, is the Hornets first half -5 and -110. The stake bet is Lakers Magic. And you have talked me into moving on the Lakers.
This is scary.
It is very sick. It drove me to drink.
Drove me to drink.
But I get. Let me just see if it's still moving to back off of 5 down to 4.5. No, it's 5 at my book. Okay.
See.
Let's keep rolling. THC's Rizza is on the Bucks first half -5.5.
That's a good look, man. What I forgot to say is they're actually 3rd or 4th in the league first half ATS.
Yeah, and Joe Yurkovich was talking about that as well.
Yeah.
Again, talking about the subconscious messing with us from a capping perspective. But I know my ROI is not good when I go back to the well.
I know,
and I
man.
know that I want the Buccaneers the Bucks against the best teams in the NBA, and I don't count the Bulls as one of them. And I don't think this is a spot where they step up after they look so good against the Grizzlies. I think that Clippers first quarter is a very interesting look. Very, very interesting. You did not make that official.
I'm making it official.
Okay.
I'm looking at now. It's down to 2.5, but I'm just using Bovada. I've got Clippers first quarter at +2.5, and I'm going to move on Portland first quarter also.
Okay, well, let's get you the Clippers first. So you got +2.5. I can get you the same +3.5. I can get you 2.5 at -107. Let's just see what Pinnacle's offering you for these Clippers here.
Okay, I didn't make a move. Yeah, the Clippers seems like the
quarter.
Nope.
Holy shit!
Wow.
+3.5. It's moved to 8.5 here, and the first quarter is +3.5 with -110. There you go.
Okay, the move I just made actually was Portland, not Clippers.
Oh, okay. Do you not want to make the Clippers official? Don't force it. You don't need to.
I'm looking at my notes on what I said about either team.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with Portland over the Clippers. So I'm gonna hold off on the Clippers. I might make that official and tweet it out to you.
I already made that Blazers official +2.5.
Okay, the Blazers is definitely official.
Okay.
That's what I'm more confident on than the Clippers. And I think Dan Kelly had some great info to back it up that you should probably take the Clippers money line first quarter or Portland money line first quarter.
Oh, well, okay. I still think the Clippers is very interesting. Look,
yeah, it's interesting.
I also am very interested in the under in the Heat Hawks game. I'm gonna take a couple looks at that now as soon as the show's over. The next spot that's official for Derl is Blazers first quarter +2.5.
Yes.
And I'm interested in that. I'm also interested in the under in that game, which we will take another look at. Again, I'll tweet out whatever I bet, so that'll come out shortly. Siakam assists over 5.5 at +100. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is Toronto +1. And I want Washington here. And I do not want to go up against Ron, and I'm going to have to think about it further if I want to move on it. Then I just don't. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the proximity, and I know that maybe sounds silly, but the proximity between Milwaukee and Chicago maybe plays some sort of factor here and makes them try a little bit, because I need the Bucks to really try to wreck shop. And now Drew Holiday's back. Maybe they do. I'm going to see how high this spread gets to, because you tell me that the Bucks, after looking so good against the Grizzlies, are going to turn it on again. And look, they need to. They're just 15-8 in the home. And I'm also interested in the under in that Bucks-Bulls game. That's going to take a little bit more time. The Spurs was my plan, and I guess, the market moved towards them now, and now I'm hesitant.
Yeah.
But I want Spurs first quarter, first half. I do. I think they're playing in a really nice ball right now, but I'm going to have to sit with that.
Yeah.
Then you've moved on the Grizzlies +3.5 at -105.
Absolutely.
That's Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today number 2, and I like it. Ron Crawford also moving on a spreadsheet play today with the Titans. I just popped that here. Lock that in. Pistons Jazz, nothing for us, and nothing for us in the Golden State Warriors Houston Rockets game.
No.
But I agree that the Rockets team total over is in business, but if that's in business, then I can't do it. I can't bet against the Warriors after they look bad. They just get me right in the old drink hole. So in the old food pussy. That's where they get me, right in the old food pussy. There you have it, Derl. What a treat it is to cap the NBA card with you. It's very, very enjoyable for all of us. We've been double dipping with Derl. We've been getting him Wednesdays and Fridays. I'd love that to continue if you're cool with it.
Yeah. So Wednesdays and Fridays going forward. Okay.
Yeah, we'd love that. Great job. Get that cash. You are comfortably plus units coming off a big day, and you got a nice chunk of action here. So get that cash, my man. Follow our guy on Twitter. I'm gonna pop it here in the chat. Give him a follow.
Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate you, brother.
Be loved here. Let me pop it in. Derl, while I'm doing this, any last words for the great Capper Sporting Show?
I'm about to go get another bottle. I think I'm on it today, bro. It's Friday. No, man, but yeah, as per usual, man. Thanks again, Jay. I really appreciate this opportunity. Even though I speak a lot, I do learn a lot from you and the guys in the chat. Makes me look at shit at a different level and a different perspective. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all dearly. Make sure you have a safe weekend, a great weekend. You gonna watch that UFC fight, man?
You know what? When it comes to the Saturday night sort of thing, is I've kind of let go a little bit. My brother-in-law watches them, but it's all family for me on Saturday. So I guess the main fight is going to be late enough for the kids to go down, but I don't put it in the schedule. I don't, because my whole life is nonstop sports, and everybody knows that, you know. And then we have football all day, Saturday, Sunday. Like I've kind of let go of the fight, but you know, but I know it's a spectacular.
It's gonna be a good fight, though.
Yeah.
Enough said. I mean, but yeah, this should be a great fight. So, yeah, Jay, we will chop it up, bro. I will see you Wednesday.
And please figure out how you can meet us in San Antonio.
All right, I got it.
I love it. There he is, Derl in the house. What great work from him. Let's review NHL and NCAA basketball here quickly. In NHL, we already had looks from before the show started, looks from Gogster. He was on the Islanders puck line -103, Wild in regulation at +108, and Lightning in regulation at -137. He added the no goal first 9 minutes and 30 seconds in the Rangers Carolina game, but you could tell he was nervous when the shift from Shesty to Georgiev happened. I still have interest in the under, and I would prefer if Georgiev was playing, knowing that he was starting. He seems to not do well in spot starts, but I still trust him as a goaltender. I'm going to move on the over. I didn't expect this show to crack 3 hours, but let's see if that's because it was 110 when I wanted it. It moved to 105, and it's still at 105. So no concerns there. I want a plus line. I'm going to move on it. I also think Detroit's live. I really do. I think Detroit is live here. Rested. It's tough when you go up against cappers you respect, so that's going to take a little bit of time and thought. I'm off of the Coyotes Islanders game. I think it's dangerous. As I said, Gogster's on the Wild in regulation. I get it, but market moving heavily towards the Blackhawks. I'm going to move on the Canucks team total under 2.5. It's at +100 in my book. I've already moved on the Panthers -1.5, and Gogster moved on Florida in regulation at -124. As I said, he's on the Lightning in regulation. And then NHL spreadsheet play today is on the St. Louis Blues. Gogster's on the Blues in regulation, and I moved on the Blues -1, and I got -112. The 4 college basketball picks are Robert Morris, PFW, first half over 69.5. Fresno State, first half +106. That is the degenerate special. That's the last game for your Friday night action across all sports, North American sports. Niagara -118 on the money line, and the Taint play today is Niagara -1.5. So that correlates there, Max and Taint. And then you have Bryant -1 and -108. And there you have it. Let's see how drunk Jose is. Jose, welcome. Jump back on. Are you liquidated right now?
Ha! That's funny. Yeah, I guess I am. I mean, I am a little saucy right now.
Sure.
Sure. I'm not as banged up as I once was back in my youth.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, when I was not a winning capper. So
yeah, you're right.
But that day made me a winning capper. That was a historic day in the show's history.
But I can understand losing 4 straight might drive you to drink.
I mean, it definitely has. I will admit, it definitely has. By the way, Cashman 19, our good friends, asking about San Antonio details. We
Okay.
should take the time to again say when it is and what what we're doing.
Well, the main trip is the 21st to the 31st. There will be cappers there the weekend before the 21st, and there will be cappers there after the 31st. We're doing it big. But the main trip and the schedules and the itinerary that's going to come out will be between the 21st and the 31st. Southtown 101 will be the main spot. We are looking at accommodations and trying to get deals with hotel rooms and working on that right now. But flights are cheap right now due to the pandemic. So $400 round trip from Toronto right now, all taxes and everything. So hope the Canadians come out. I hope everybody comes out. We're going to do it up in a big, big way. And it's, steaks, nonstop steaks from Jose. And by the way, get in on the steak action. Challenge Jose as much as possible. But we're going to come out
with a team that I don't like. Bet on them. And then
we're going to come up with Ontario. Jimmy Gomez, that's March 21st to 31st, Jimmy. And I've hung out with Jimmy. Come down and hang with us. The big weekend is the 25th to 27th. And there's going to be, I'm guessing 100 of us. We know at least 50. There's going to be 100 of us. I've got to fucking 3 hour, 15 minute show. I got to pick up Ella now from school. So
yeah. And by the way, for people that forget, March Madness, San Antonio is hosting March Madness games in that week of when we're going the 21st to the 31st. So might be doing some March Madness games live as well. So come down. Good times. I'm sorry if I'm on a delay a little bit.
We're going to be betting horses. We also have poker tournament set up with pro dealers. We have a ping pong tournament set up, and we're talking real cash. There's talk it's $100 buy-in. So
for the ping pong tournament?
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we got to play seriously, I mean, come on, you talk a lot of shit about your ping pong skills.
Oh fuck, you pick the amount of money, and I fuck with you. That's how I do things.
Where did you learn to become Forrest Gump? Essentially,
I don't know. It's like if you smoke and you're lazy, it's the perfect sport for you.
Okay. All right.
Dennis Garcia says, "Will there be a Pegasus horse show?" There was supposed to be. Manny Ice says bowling tournament. That's in the cards.
I'm the worst bowler in the history of mankind.
There's supposed to be a Pegasus tournament.
Where's that?
Pegasus is a big race. It used to be the most expensive race in North America, but now it's a $3 million race. Still very exciting. Knicks go in it. I'm not sure, Dennis, at this point, so I can't confirm that at this point. Cashman says, "Don't forget your edible first." You know me, Cashman. Look, I love you guys. We have nothing without you guys. Truly, you sit with us for 3 hours, 15 minutes. I've got a lot of very important focusing to do before I pick up Ella. I've got to get my action in. As soon as I say that, my palms just start fucking.
You're hot. We're rolling, except for me. You're rolling.
I've got a lot more work to do here to improve my life. Thank you guys so much, Billy Friedrich, Cashman, Matty Ice, Ron Crawford, Mark Schillingberg, Dennis Garcia. God, I want a Pegasus show then. And there's no horse racing show today. We have Razor just having the birth of his son, so there's no horse racing show.
Congrats on the sex, Razor.
Tonight. And all I want to do is bet horses. You know that, Dennis. If I did that every day, if that's all I did, I would be a very happy person.
I can't wait.
Jimmy Gomez, Joey Faye, Nuke Worker, all you guys, Andrew G, Jared TG, Jay Peasy, Joe Yurkovich, Ron Crawford, Nutflush Allen, THC is RZA, all you guys, Rants, Top Shelf, Eric Jones, Nate Dogg. Thank you guys. Jared TG says I'll sit here for 6+ hours. Jose, could you please honor us with a fucking leche?
God, I'm not good at these. My inner whiteness comes out. I may look like a brown, but I am a white, unfortunately. It's what it is. Cheers, Jimmy.
Sell yourself short. Just give us a fucking leche and let's go.
Okay, sure. Cheers, Jimmy. Thank you as always.
Love you guys.
Jesus, I've got so many noises around me right now. But cheers, everyone. Let's get a little leche. Hey, los bookmakers.